attended the church school. The 23-year-old suspect is believed to have approached the side of the church, which also houses a school, and fired dozens of shots through the windows using 3 firearms. Acting U.S. Attorney General for Minnesota, Joseph Thompson, says the attacker, who died at the scene of the self-inflicted gunshot wound, left a note.
The shooter expressed hate towards almost every group imaginable. The shooter expressed hate towards black people. The shooter expressed hate towards Mexican people. The shooter expressed hate towards Christian people. The shooter expressed hate towards Jewish people. In short, the shooter appeared to hate all of us.
Gold is trading at $3,412.57 an ounce. The rand is at 17.72 to the dollar, 23.93 to the pound, 20.67 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $68.18 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the M1 North. It happened right after Boyson's Road. It is causing delays towards the Crown interchange while traveling in Devland along the Golden Highway. Delays between Union Avenue and the N1. That's due to faulty traffic lights as well as roadworks.
And in your sport, Akani Simbini misses out on 100-meter glory by 0.02 seconds in Zurich. Once again, the top seeds are having no problems at the US Open tennis. And World Rugby accused of having blood on its hands following the suicide of Shane Christie, a former New Zealand rugby player believed to be suffering with CTE, a neurological disorder brought on by concussion.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 14 degrees, peaking at 27. Pretoria 15 and 29. Vereniging 14 and 28. The top story in EWN this hour. Taxi body Santaco has confirmed that there won't be a province-wide shutdown in Gauteng this morning.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Six minutes after 6 o'clock. Dumelang. Welcome to the Friday edition of 702 Breakfast. My name is Clement Banyatela. I'm in for Bongani this morning, and I'm with the usual team. Amo Ramela on traffic. How are you doing, Amo?
I'm good. Good morning, Clement.
Are you
Welcome.
happy that it's a Friday? Yay.
Yay, I'm very happy. I'm so
Mateo
excited.
Paripe on business. How are you doing?
Morning, Clemza. I'm happy that it's a Friday.
Apparently, you guys have a thing that you do here every single Friday.
Yeah, and you're going to join us.
Let me conduct.
Three. It's a Friday.
It's a Friday. It's a Friday.
Oh, okay. So that was a soprano. That was what, baritone or tenor?
It was good, no?
That's a good
Proud of
soprano.
myself.
Not sure about you.
I'm happy you didn't join us, though, because I've heard you sing recently.
Listen, yeah, I've been doing better. I've been improving. We're going to be taking your calls throughout the show on 011-883-0702. Your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702. We have a jam-packed show for you this morning. So before 7 o'clock, we're going to speak to the DA in Tshwane. They are saying that they're going to be keeping a close watch on the executive mayor, Dr. Nasipi Moya, after she confirmed that she'll repay nearly 270,000 rand that she was overpaid while serving as chief of staff in the mayor's office. And I think what the DA has an issue with here is, why is the mayor only acting now when the issue has been raised? Why isn't it something that she has done already? In fact, there was a time when this mayor, at some point when she was an official in the city of Tshwane, was paid 10,000 rand for an international trip that she never took. And she was asked, when are you going to pay back that money? I understand that she eventually paid it, but now this 270,000 rand is a matter in question. And then after 7 o'clock, we'll speak to the Minister of International Relations, Ronald Lamola. We will speak about what the US seems to want assistance with. The United States wanting South Africa to somehow fasten the process of visa applications of some Kenyans who are going to come to South Africa to help the US fast-track their applications around the African refugee program. Of course, our government doesn't recognize that because they don't believe that there are refugees here that have now somehow fled to the United States. So Ronald Lamola will speak to us about what this means, and what if the US is unhappy about us not giving them that assistance. But also on our big interview after 7 o'clock, we'll be speaking to the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Police, Ian Cameron, on the police dockets that are being returned to the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team. Remember when General Mkhwanazi, the KZN Police Commissioner, held that briefing back in July, he said that there are some dockets that have been taken, confiscated by Shadrach Sibiya, who's now the suspended Deputy Police Commissioner, and that was because the Political Killings Task Team was now disbanded on instruction of the Police Minister. So yesterday, Fani Masemola announcing that those dockets are returning to the KZN Political Killings Task Team. What does this mean? Does this mean now that the decision that the Minister Senzo Mchunu had taken to disband this Political Killings Task Team is now nullified? We'll find out from Ian Cameron just after 7 o'clock. And of course, we will have Nokukanya Mtambo, who is going to give us the G20 information on the G20 correspondence desk. We'll have the Ndlovu Youth Choir as well as it reimagines the Bohemian Rhapsody in isiZulu. They're going to join us before we wrap up the show at 9 o'clock. Mutao, what are you asking us today?
I want to know this morning, what's the thing you like to try before you buy or spend money on?
So obviously people do test drive vehicles, right? Most people before you buy a vehicle. I would say for me it's ice cream. I am obsessed with ice cream. And even when I know the flavor and I'm about to buy my favorite ice cream, I normally want to
So you ask
taste
them
it first. Yeah.
and they give you like a scoop or what?
They have to give me a scoop to try. And if you don't do that, I'm walking away.
So what if you don't like 5 of them?
I will like one of them.
Because you're going through several now.
So the funny thing is I actually have specific flavors I like.
Okay.
So, but sometimes I don't know what my body feels like. Like I love the Malva. Or I will enjoy like the strawberry. But on that day, I'm like, which one do I feel like? So I'll want to taste both. And whatever, if my taste buds get excited over this one, then I'll take that one. So I need
fussy
that.
buy, eh? With me, it happened technically, right? I was covering budget in Cape Town. And one of the analysts I was speaking to was like, hey, come to our hotel. I'll do the interview here. So we drive down there. We get to the hotel. And I'm like, wait, this is fancy. And, you know, we get to sit in the hotel room. So I got a feel of what it would be like to be someone visiting there. And we go to the, eating area. And I'm like, wow, this is a really like a place I'd like to visit. Of course, I found out later I'd have to part ways with half of my savings to live there.
Yeah.
But it was good to get that experience of that place. And the next time I'm going there, I'm definitely going to be booking at that particular place. But I think it's a nice way to try out something before you fully commit.
How about you, Amo?
It's very close to Muteo's because I was going to say it's a holiday destination. So usually officials will launch a place, a heritage site, or, come see this place and you think it's beautiful. Well, you don't think it is really beautiful and it's nice. It's a nice place to visit and they take media people on that launch and it's just a nice young tour, not a jet to holiday. But I think those are the things that I like to try out first before I spend money on.
Okay, and what about you? Give us a call on 011-883-0702. Send a WhatsApp on 0727021702. What's that one thing you really want to test drive before you decide either to purchase it or to experience it? It's 12 minutes after 6.
702.
Weather.
So let's look at what temperatures you can expect today in Johannesburg. You can expect 14 degrees temperatures peaking at 27 in Pretoria, 15 and 29 Vereeniging, 14 and 28 in Cape Town. It's expected to be partly cloudy along with a moderate south easterly breeze, a low of 12 and a high of 19 degrees. In Bombela, a low of 14, highs of 29, Bloemfontein 13, 20 and 25. In Durban, it's expected to be partly cloudy with moderate northeasterly winds starting from a low of 19 and peaking at 25. In Gqeberha, lows of 13, highs of 19. East London, lows of 14 and highs of 23. And in Kimberley, temperatures there are expected to be 14 degrees Celsius and the high of 23.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702 Amo. How are we looking on the roads?
Well, traveling on the Mike 1 North, we already have heavy traffic volumes due to an accident near the Crown turn-off. Delays coming out of Boyson's Road. It's causing about a 20-minute hold-up already. So please try to avoid this scene. You can try using Clip if you drive through Boyson's, as well as the N1 North through areas like Rodiport if you're heading towards Parktown or even Sandton. While traveling on the N1 North in the Diepkloof area, delays towards the Diepkloof interchange coming out of the Golden Highway. This is due to roadworks that are taking place along this route, and there's more roadworks in Boksburg along the N17 West. This is between Carnival City and the R21, and they are also causing delays. Please be on the lookout there. More updates coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You are the poster child, the biggest saver we've ever had.
I decided that I would contact Outsurance and let them work out what they could do for me.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, big saving. 2,794 Rand a month.
That's over 33,000 Rand a year.
And it was the easiest switch ever. Real people helping real people get real deals.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's and information online.
702
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
15 minutes now after 6 o'clock. How difficult was yesterday's show for you guys?
Incredibly difficult, Clement. Speaking about someone you love, somebody you just saw the other day in the past tense, is your mind can't even fathom what you going through. You can't even express fully what that is like. I mean, I couldn't imagine how you were feeling, because the first person I thought about was you when I heard the news, because I know how incredibly close you were just over the years since I've known you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, I just want to ask, of course, to you as our listeners to just bear with us today. I am very low, and I don't want to drag the whole show low today, but I just want you to be aware. If I'm sounding low, it's because of really the news that came this week around the passing of our friend, who was so dear to us. And we had a difficult day yesterday, and we're going to have a very difficult couple of days. She was a friend. She was a colleague to us, and we are still trying to navigate this. I honestly still it hasn't sunk in. I think when I'm speaking with my friends, we still think this is just not possible, because there were so many plans with this person over the next coming weeks, over the next coming months. She had plans over the next coming years when I hosted her on the Hanging Out feature. So just an appeal that bear with us. It's going to be very difficult for us as hosts over the next couple of days. And I hope that we can still continue the work while also just acknowledging that we are going through something so painful. But we'll overcome. Keep us in your prayers, please. 17 minutes after 6.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
Hi, this is Julia de Bruin from Sandton. I like 702 because it's even-handed. Everybody and anybody can phone in, express their opinion, and everybody is treated with respect. So you get a good balanced view of everything, lots of information, lots of interesting things that you would never have otherwise known about. You can find out via 702. Whether you start listening at 5 a.m. if you can't sleep, or whether you're still awake at night at 10 to 12 with August.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
For over 200,000 businesses, Yoko has been there, backing the brave, simplifying payments with our legendary Little Blue Card Machine. We've built a legacy of making businesses run smarter. Now, meet the next generation of smart. Yoko Counter. It's the smartest till you'll ever own. Your all-in-one hub for seamless payments, crystal clear recons, effortless stock control, and efficient staff management. Yoko Counter. Level up at yoko.com.
Want to save on your next local holiday? Lekker offers amazing deals on local accommodation all year round. From self-catering getaways to luxury stays and everything in between, Lekker has something for every budget. Don't miss out on Lekker amazing year-round accommodation offers all over South Africa. Download the Lekker app today and discover how easy it is to book an affordable holiday. Lekker, always save on the best local stays.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Sail the world with Norwegian Cruise Line, with more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Plus, upgrade your holiday with NCL's More at Sea for premium beverages, specialty dining, and much more. Think international cruising. Think NCL. For the best deals available, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Mzansi, the Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots estimated at a total 85 million rand are your chance at an unforgettable Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 37 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 48 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Handa, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
702 was live from the AXA International Ndaba Conference Center as Airports Company South Africa announced their 2024-2025 annual financial results.
It's a very exciting day to announce the results for AXA with their sterling performance. What makes it so significant is that it creates a buffer, almost like a balance between aeronautical revenue, which is aviation revenue. It mitigates the risk. So you diversify revenue so that you don't have over-reliance on just one stream of income. That's a significant part of it. And it has been growing significantly, like almost balanced 50-50 with the aviation revenue in the past few years.
Airports Company South Africa is proud to be sustaining the pulse of SA's economy and global connectivity. Visit airports.co.za for more info. 702. Let's walk the talk.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Hi Clement, Quentin here from Boksburg. Seems like we share the same weakness on ice cream, and I do exactly the same. But if I can give you a tip, the Woolies brand tin roof or the mint choc ice cream, that is my absolute downfall. And what you must try, buy one of those 2 liters, take a butter knife, poke some holes in the ice cream at the top and twist it so it makes nice big holes, and then you fill them up with those small little bottles of Amarula or Cape Velvet and put it back in the freezer. And yeah, you might experience something completely new. You got to give it a try. Hope you guys have a great day. Good show, guys.
Yeah,
Cheers.
listen, I'm already salivating. Like,
it sounds good, but as a person living with kids, I'm like, oh man. I would have to label that ice cream as just mine.
Okay, so the Woolies mint choc. You must try. What's that ice cream? Paul's ice cream. They've got this Malva, because I've never seen it anywhere else except at their ice cream shop. They've got this Malva ice cream, because I'm obsessed with Malva. Like, they take Malva pudding, they mix it with like ice cream. Oh my God, it's divine.
It better be good, eh?
It's amazing. It's amazing, guys. You must check it out. Check it out. And then we'll go to gym after the show. Look at her looking side eye.
Judging you.
I am.
Good morning, Clement. Amo. Morning, Muteo. Clement, we really understand. Even for us as listeners, it's just a tough time. It's tough time to listen to the shows with the understanding that CD is no longer with us. Like I'm saying, we really understand and thank you for digging deep. You and your colleagues, you're digging so deep. I was very impressed with Ray. Thought we are going to have a very difficult show yesterday, but he tried and he digged deep in making the show what it needs to look like. So we really understand, Clement. We really feel the same. Olani here from the Val.
Thank you, Olani.
For more about 702,
go to primemediaplus.com.
All right, here's some of the things you need to know about this morning. NESA has admitted to major calculation errors in Eskom's revenue determination, resulting In a secret 54 billion rand settlement with the power utility, consumers will now face nearly 100 billion rand in extra costs through higher electricity tariffs over the next few years. Tariff increases are expected to rise significantly in the 2026-2027 and 2027-2028 financial year, with further hikes possible as more settlements are implemented. And then listen to this. In Kiruna in Sweden, a food truck is serving cheese steaks made with moose and reindeer, and that's drawing both locals and tourists. Their speciality is actually inspired by Philadelphia's iconic sandwich, and it's become a hit as the town undergoes a historic relocation due to an expanding iron ore mine. So despite even the high prices for this cheese steaks, you've got visitors praising this and they're very excited about it. And I wonder, does trying unusual local food make travel more exciting for you, or do you prefer sticking to familiar flavors? Like, I travel a lot, but I'm a boring traveler. Like, every country I go to, especially if I'm in Asia,
don't tell me you're eating burgers or things like that.
The first thing I do when I arrive is I Google European restaurants because I don't try out new foods. I can't. I struggle with new things.
Are you afraid you'll get sick, or you won't?
Not
like
really.
the
I
taste?
just don't. I don't want to try new things. I'm okay with what I usually know. In as far
So
as
how are you
food
gonna
is
know
concerned.
you like? I mean, how did you know you like Malva? You tried.
But Malva was our normal food in South Africa, I guess.
I want to eat like the locals when I travel. Like,
really?
I always make it a point to eat where they eat. Even like the fancy restaurants I'll probably walk past. It's a risk. And I take probiotics and all the things that I need to take with me. But I want to eat like they eat. If it's great, it's great. If it's not, then... But I would at least walk away with a great experience.
Do you try out new things?
I do a lot. Yeah, I like new things. I like new tastes. And I like to have an experience, a memory through taste.
Yeah.
If I were to call it.
Okay, that's interesting. Are you like Clement? You don't try out new food when you're traveling? Or are you like Mateo and Amo? You do want to try it, especially if you're in a different country. Do you want to try out local food? Please let us know. Give us a call or send a WhatsApp voice note. In Mexico, they've reported 5,086 cases of flesh-eating screwworm in animals as of August 17, marking a 53% rise since July. And Chinese Xi Jinping is set to host North Korea's Kim Jong-un and Russia's Vladimir Putin, signaling China's growing diplomatic influence ahead of possible talks of those negotiations, of course, in as far as ending the war in Ukraine. And of course, Michael Jackson was born on this day in 1958. He was known as the King of Pop, and he became the most successful entertainer of all time.
702.
The newspapers.
isiZulu, good morning.
Morning, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right. What are we looking at?
I want to start by asking you a question. If the government today were to introduce a messaging app, it cancels WhatsApp and all other messaging apps that you are familiar with, would you use it, or would you be kind of insecure that the government is spying on you?
I think I would be insecure in the age of AI.
Yeah.
I am getting more and more skeptical on of these apps.
Yeah.
Because, AI is more reliant on the intelligence we give it. But I just feel like we're giving it everything. It lends us so much that, and I'm an AI doomer. I just think they're going to kill us one day. So I would be very skeptical.
Yeah, no, I'm asking this because the Washington Post has a story about how Russia's latest attempt to build a digital ecosystem is moving into higher gear. So they've introduced this messaging app called Max after they restricted WhatsApp and Telegram. They're basically saying WhatsApp and Telegram are platforms that are failing to share information with law enforcement and fraud terrorism cases. And therefore, Russia is now circumventing the entire messaging app ecosystem and saying, listen, we are going to start our own federal messaging app that everyone in the country is going to use. So that's an interesting story that I found in the front page of the Washington Post this morning.
Okay.
Join us.
And in the Citizen this morning, coming local here at home, men are apparently dying younger and women are dying older. This is data from Stats SA. South Africa recorded more than 486,000 fatalities in 2022. This is, of course, according to Stats SA, which had released the data yesterday on mortality and the cause of death is on fatalities collected through the South African Civil Registration System. And the system is maintained by the Department of Home Affairs. And the information on causes of the fatalities is captured as it was recorded on death notification forms completed by medical practitioners.
And on the business day newspaper, they are running with NESA's 54 billion rand tariffs blunder and, of course, the far-reaching implications of this miscalculation. And on the Sowetan, e-hailing driver's family still awaits his remains 16 days after Mvelase was burnt in his car at a Soweto mall. His family is still getting desperate for updates on the case. That's on the newspapers.
EWN Business.
Mateo, you've been asking us what's that one thing that we want to always try before we buy or spend money on it. Why?
Well, Clement, there's a quirky trend happening mostly in the US. Some buyers of expensive properties there are taking the houses for a test run before putting in offers. Now, last year, Eric Albert, a 65-year-old, listed his roughly 11,000 square meter, 6-bedroom Newport estate, which retails for about $60.2 million. And there was a couple from overseas who had watched a video of the property and expressed interest in making an offer, but they had one request, right? Could they stay overnight, like a sleepover, at the house before committing? They wanted to ensure their comfort in the home and confirm it was the right size and layout. Now, the Wall Street Journal says our property agents are receiving more of these requests, especially among the wealthy. More buyers are asking to stay overnight in a home before making an offer, and more sellers are extending that particular invitation, so it's becoming more acceptable. Our Compass Retail Estates in California says if you can test drive a car off a showroom, you can definitely do the same with a home. The company represented a buyer looking for a $14.6 million property. This was 8,500 square foot, a big home in the Los Angeles Hollywood Hills. At the showing, the client proposed an overnight stay and the seller agreed. They both worked out a contract with their lawyers to say you'll stay for a short while, you damage nothing, but you get to experience the home. And if you like it, you make a good offer. And I guess it's the risk you're willing to take if you're trying to sell a property at that price. Are you willing to have strangers come into your home if you're selling a property? I mean, Airbnb is close enough an example, but that's like a short stay and that's like your second home. But your primary home, would you be willing to let people in for a short while if they're looking to buy?
If I'm desperate to sell. Depends on how desperate I am to sell that house.
A closer look at the markets. Yesterday, quite weak. The JSE on Thursday dropping by 148 points. Mining shares were down 1.5%. Industrials were also lower on the day. The rand at this hour, 17 rand 70 against the US dollar, creeping closer to that 18 rand mark at 20 rand 66 cents against the euro and at 23 rand 91 cents against the British pound. Price of gold up more than 0.5% at $3,417 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,360. Brent crude at $67.60 a barrel. More business after 7.
6:32, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. Sviso, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. Joburg City Power has issued a warning to organized crime groups stealing and vandalizing crucial infrastructure. The power utility says it's making headway in efforts to dismantling what appears to be the work of coordinated organized crime groups. It's revealed that between March and August this year, at least 28 cases of theft and vandalism were recorded. City Power spokesperson Isaac Mangena says the criminal operations have had a knock-on effect on the utility's pockets.
Replacing vandalized transformer and other high voltage equipment can cost anything between 800,000 to 1.2 million rands per unit. We are working closely with the SAPS, the private security companies, and even our internal security to track down the perpetrators, which may include some of our employees or even some of our contractors.
3 Mpumalanga policemen accused of murder will only know next week if they'll be granted bail or not. The trio applied for bail at the Evander Magistrates Court yesterday. The constables allegedly killed a motorist after assaulting him while attending an accident scene between Mbalenhle and Evander last weekend. IPID spokesperson Lizzie Shuping says the officers faced charges of murder and defeating the ends of justice.
When the officers arrived at the scene, one of the motorists allegedly involved in the accident fled on foot. The officers gave chase, arrested him, and allegedly assaulted him. The motorist who was assaulted sustained multiple head injuries and died a few days later in hospital.
Western Cape Mobility MEC Isaac Sileku says if taxi violence persists in Cape Town, associations may face deregistration or have their operating permits suspended. This follows a flare-up of taxi-related shootings in Philippi, Khayelitsha and Makassar this week, in which 5 people were killed and 9 others wounded. The attacks are linked to a feud between Kata and Kodeta over a taxi route to Somerset West. The Provincial Mobility Department has approached the courts to interdict the organizations. Sileku says government will not tolerate the use of violence to settle disputes.
For millions of workers, students, women and children, it is not just transport. It is a lifeline. That lifeline cannot be allowed to become a death trap. The Western Cape government is resolute. The safety of commuters is non-negotiable.
And Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged Western allies to send a strong joint signal to Vladimir Putin after Russia killed 23 people in one of the deadliest attacks on Kyiv since the start of the war. Russia has rained down aerial strikes on Ukrainian cities despite US President Donald Trump's push for a ceasefire, and even as Moscow talks up the importance of ending the conflict ignited by its full-scale invasion in February 2022. The latest attack saw Russian missiles and drones rip through buildings in the Ukrainian capital, blasting a 5-story crater in an apartment block and leaving 4 children among them dead. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 14 and 15 degrees, peaking at highs between 27 and 29.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the M1 North. It happened near the Crown Interchange. Delays from Boysons Road, while travelling on the N1 North. Delays between Malibongwe Drive and Beyersnodie Drive.
The top story this hour, City Power has warned organised crimes or criminals of stealing essential infrastructure to stop doing so.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Tidi was a regular stand-in. She often hosted this show, and she did such a stellar job because I always felt like if Tidi was on the show, it was a safe pair of hands. Tidi set the agenda. She always had the inside track. And Tidi, I'm so glad that you got to visit the White House, that you so patriotically represented your country, and that you got to live your best life and really, really shine. May your memory be a blessing.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. Up to 3,000 Rand in cash up for grabs. All you need to do is send an answer based on anything that piqued your interest on the show, and you could win 1,000 Rand. Simply WhatsApp your name and answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little later, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 Rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance.
You could do something first and still be doing it wrong. What hurts is sprinting but never making it to the finish line. Quit going in the wrong direction, because with Sunny Sixt, you can rent here and globally. Other car rental companies only have a vision to try harder. We actually deliver. While they leave you feeling blue, our budget and vibe match yours. For a tailored service offering premium at every stage, book premium car rental excellence with Sunny Sixt.
10 years ago, Illuma Capital set out with one goal: to help people like you build a legacy for tomorrow. Through personalized strategies and unwavering dedication, we've been instrumental in helping our clients achieve their financial dreams, whether it's securing retirement, growing wealth, or planning for the unexpected. For a decade, we've been trusted to guide your financial journey with expertise and care. Visit illuma.co.za today. Illuma Capital is a licensed FSP. T's and C's apply.
Do you know what's hiding behind colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by 30 September.
Every Thursday on 702 Breakfast, Old Mutual Corporate tackles the tough questions around South Africa's retirement crisis and how to change the future we're heading toward within the world of work.
Retirement literacy is critical. We went around trying to explain via advertising campaigns, member communication around what's changing, and we realized how few people understood how it worked in the first place.
Yeah.
So there's a complete lack of understanding of the importance around retirement funding. I think the second learning is people are financially stressed, and it's across all income levels.
The Old Mutual Thought Leaders Forum, Thursdays between 6 and 9 a.m. Brought to you by Old Mutual Corporate on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Hey, Clement and the team. This is Bongani from Pretoria. I haven't even tried amasonja. So why would I try something outside the borders of South Africa? I'd rather stick with what I know.
Good morning, guys. It's Friday. My deepest condolence to all of y'all for losing a colleague. I really understand that feeling. And with regards to the food, if it's halal, I would like to try, but not beef or mutton. Chicken, I will try. So yeah, that goes for me. Bye. Have a lovely weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Have a lovely weekend yourself. Cindy Paluta, I've been asking the listeners if they, like, are you a type of person that tries out new food? I don't do that when I'm traveling. In fact, we were speaking about a reindeer. There's this cheese, what do they call it? Cheese steak, like some kind of a sandwich. They use moose and reindeer. Apparently, it's formula. It's popular in parts of Europe.
The like to make the patty?
Yes. Do you try out new things when you're traveling, local food?
No. I think partly because it's expensive, right? So when you're traveling, you don't necessarily want to spend money on food that is not going to taste great.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not going to go, ooh, because I just got back from Paris. I'm not going to go, oh, snails are a delicacy in Paris. Let me try a snail. No, but I do remember in the early 2000s, I did a Kontiki tour to Australia with a friend, and we went to an alligator farm.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said to us, to the whole group, because when you travel on Kontiki, there's about 30 of you, right? And then they said, that night we were at dinner, and they said, would anybody like to try alligator? And it was so funny to see that all these South Africans on the tour said, no thanks. Like, we don't want to eat an alligator. Like, it's really okay. And all the other foreigners were like, yes, bring it on. We'll try it.
No way.
Apparently it tasted like chicken.
Yeah.
I'll never know. And we all actually said the same thing. It was like a respect thing. Weird, hey?
It is. I was in Finland earlier this year, and they are big on reindeers, and they were like, try out everything they make there with the reindeer. I was like, I'm sorry, I'll have my McDonald's. Thank you very much. 18 minutes before 7.
EWN Sport.
So, Akani Simbine, how did he do at the Diamond League final yesterday?
So close. It's heartbreaking because they actually needed a photo finish to decide who had won between him and Christian Coleman. And Christian Coleman won. The report says by 0.02 seconds, but Coleman's winning time is 9.97 and Akani's time is 9.98, which to me is 0.01. But you know, when it's a photo finish, but it's okay. It's okay because we've got the World Athletics Champs in Tokyo in 3 weeks. So let's see how he does there as well. US Open tennis overnight. No upsets again. Sinner once again cruising through along with Zverev. Swiatek needed 3 sets to win her match. Coco Gauff overcoming her serving struggles in her straight sets win. World Rugby is accused of having blood on their hands following the death of New Zealand player Shane Christie by suicide a day before his 40th birthday. Christie's father says World Rugby is not doing enough for players' welfare. Christie, who played for the All Black Sevens, the Crusaders and the Highlanders, believed he was suffering with CTE. CTE is a neurological disorder caused by too many knocks to the head, such as concussion. It's known to cause mood and behavioral changes and cognitive impairment, and a link exists between CTE and the suicide of numerous NFL players in the USA. The draw for the league phase of the Champions League was done last night. The big fixtures in the league phase will be Liverpool hosting Real Madrid. Barcelona will host PSG. They will also play Chelsea away. Arsenal up against Bayern Munich. And in golf at the European Masters in Switzerland, heavy fog delaying the first round. 3 South Africans have yet to complete their rounds, but are narrowly behind the leader. Richard Sterney won off the pace on 4 under through 13. Brandon Stone on 3 under through 16. Jacques Criswick managed to finish his round. He finished on 2 under. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Hello, Uncle Clement. My name is Mohammed Zaidan and I am 12 years old. I go to Auckland Park Academy of Excellence. When I grow up, I want to become a robotics engineer and author. I can't wait to do the Whiz Quiz with you.
Oh, that's awesome. Looking forward to playing with you.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Jayco. Start here and let nothing stop you, not even traffic. Amo, there's a crash on the M1 North.
That's correct, Clement. Right near a Crown interchange, delays coming out of Boyson's Road while traveling in Boksburg. Bumper-to-bumper traffic between Carnival City and Rondebolt Road. That's due to roadworks taking place there. There's also roadworks on the Golden Highway causing heavy traffic volumes between 2 areas, Eldorado Park and Meredale. So please be on the lookout there and drive with care. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
They'll tell you to wait until you're ready, until the plan is perfect, until you have it all together. But let's be real. Anyone who's done anything started without enough. They started nervous, started without a plan. Until the hustle made sense, they started anyway. And when ambition calls, you need more than a ride. You need a car built to start you on your journey, to drive you into what's next. Start where it matters. Start where it counts. The new JQ J5. Start here.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
Spar brings you super savings. Get 2 kg Tastic long grain, parboiled, brown or soft absorbing rice assorted for $34.99. Save 10 Rand with Spar Rewards, or 2 litre Spar sunflower or canola oil for $69.99 with Spar Rewards. Plus, you could win your share of 6 million Rand in instant cash. Prices valid until 7 September 2025 while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
Meet Uminati Nyaba, a powerhouse storyteller and after-graduate who earned her Bachelor of Arts in Motion Picture cum laude. From a young age, Uminati knew that storytelling was her calling, but financial hurdles nearly dimmed her dream. That all changed when she received the Hollywood Foundation's Future is Bright bursary. It lifted a huge weight off her shoulders and gave her the freedom to focus fully on her craft. She began making bold moves and creating incredible work, including her award-winning short film, which was selected for international screenings. Thanks to the Hollywood Foundation, Uminati is ready to tell the stories the world needs to hear. Follow the Hollywood Foundation social pages for more stories of stars on the rise. Sizofunda sonke.
Ah, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers 2 options. At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual-action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple-action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
All right, it's 13 minutes now before 7 o'clock. Time for the Whiz Quiz. We have Mohammed from Mondio, who's playing with us, who is in age 12. Mohammed, you are 12 years old, right?
Yeah.
And you go to Parkland Park Academy of Excellence. Are you fascinated about AI?
Not really. I just like robots.
You just like robots. Well, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. Are you ready to play the whiz quiz?
Yes.
Well, all the best to you, Muhammad. Palisa, let's go. Complete the saying, make what while the sun shines?
Half.
In math, what is half of 82?
41.
Spell the word without.
WITHOUT.
Correct. Which brand has a famous tagline, I'm loving it?
Adidas.
Incorrect. Which insect produces a substance called royal jelly? Jellyfish or honeybee?
Jellyfish.
Honeybee. Does the word toxic mean poisonous or harmless?
Poisonous.
Correct. Which country has the kiwi as its national bird?
Namibia.
New Zealand. How many national capitals does South Africa have?
3.
Correct. Which Grand Slam tennis tournament is played in the summer? Australia or French?
Australia.
Australian is the correct one. True or false? Okay, can complete that question. Complete the saying, make what while the sun shines? The answer I was looking for there is hay. Make hay while the sun shines. In math, what is half of 82? You did say 41, so you got that correct. So in total, you've got 5 correct answers, Muhammad. Congratulations to you, Muhammad. 5 correct answers. So you walk away with 500 Rand. Well done, Muhammad. It's 10 minutes before 7.
Herschel Gibbs here with more than just a crypto ad. Crypto payments are now live on 10bet. And there's more. Download the app, deposit, and get an extra 5% in cash. The future of betting, faster, safer, and smoother. Play now at 10bet.co.za. 10bet is a licensed betting operator and supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 shall be permitted to bet. Betting can be addictive. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Whenever you hear deep in the heart and art of jazz, think Sia Makuzeni with the big band, Jasmine Horn, Alun Wad, the Baylor Project, Jose James sings Badu, Umusangare, Esperanza Spalding, Michelle Dugiocello, Elaine, Tezo, Munei, Mondli Ngobo, and many other spectacular icons. Think Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival, 4 stages at the Santon Convention Center, 26th, 27th, and 28th September, and take me there. Book via Ticketmaster.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, brings the spirit of Ubuntu to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from the 29th to the 31st of August. Experience thrilling track drives, 4x4 adventures, drifting, supercar hot laps, and F1 demos. Get your tickets on Howler and use the promo code RADIO for a special discount. The Festival of Motoring, the power of new.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo, how are we looking?
Well, we still have got bumper-to-bumper delays, Clement, along the N17 West between Carnival City and the R21 off-ramp. This is due to roadworks taking place along this route. And then if you're heading towards Bedford View, do expect delays on the N12 as well as the R24 West. An accident has been reported right after the merge. It's causing delays coming out of Edenville Road. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a shift worker making his way home and daydreaming about his next career move, his next chapter. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a possible light bulb moment that could change someone's life. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
Morning breakfast team. So what I've been doing this year, my daughter's starting grade 1 in 2027, and I've been doing a bit of a tour on schools. So not your typical open days. Yes, I've been attending open days and stuff, but I've also been going the extra mile by attending like hockey festivals, netball festivals, school sporting events. They had one of the other schools had like a carnival there. So I've been attending those as a prospective parent because I feel like those are more genuine and more insightful than open days. You get to see the vibe, you get to see the parents in their relaxed mode. And I've been engaging with some of the parents to understand the culture of the school. It has been so informative. It's been brilliant. And it's helped me make a final decision on which school my daughter will go to. Yeah, thank you.
That's fascinating.
I mean, I don't know if there's anything that speaks to being prepared and ready. This is it.
That's it.
Because as a parent, you just look at the schools on the internet and,
Yeah.
but to go and experience and ask, and this is actually phenomenal. Mom
That's
of the
it.
Year 2025.
Mom of the Year, no, 2025 and 2026.
No, 2025.
That's how great it is. So I actually visited a friend's child's school recently. So my friend has got a son who plays rugby for Cares, and they were playing against Jeppy. And just being, they were playing at Jeppy, and just being in that environment and learning about the culture of the school, seeing the kids, that really helped me figure out, okay, this is what the schools are about. And I was beginning to make up my mind about where I really want my children to go to school. So that's really the best way to experiment and try out and really observe what the school is all about. So I like that. It's 6 minutes before 7.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
All right, so South Africa is pushing back against the controversial United States refugee program that the Minister of International Relations, Ronald Lamola, has labeled Apartheid 2.0. The progressive, this program gives preference to white Afrikaners that are seeking to relocate to the U.S., even though Washington halted all refugee intakes earlier this year. There are now reports suggesting that the U.S. State Department even wants to fly in staff from Kenya to South Africa to fast-track these applications. Minister Lamola says South Africa will not make concessions to facilitate what he calls an illegitimate process that misuses the definition of refugee. The minister joins us now via Zoom. Minister, thanks for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement, and to the listeners of 702.
The U.S. really is insisting on going ahead with this program, even when you have explained as South Africa that these are not refugees.
Yes, indeed, Clement. As you have already stated, even it does not also suit the definition of a refugee in terms of the convention of the UN. So there is no obligation on any member states, and in this regard, including South Africa, to assist, or a duty, because it is not in line with the refugee definition of the UN. So it is in this regard that the government of South Africa has said this is a clear immigration preference of a particular group in South Africa, and that happens to be Afrikaners. That came about as a result of the executive order of the president of the U.S. And it becomes more difficult also when now we are also expected to now assist and facilitate this process for the 30 Kenyan nationals to come and help with this program that we have already said it is outside the refugee definition. And secondly, even those Kenyan nationals have to go through the normal application process of South African Immigration Act, because South Africa is a country of laws. It's a constitutional democracy, and the rule of law must prevail.
And of course, if history is anything to go by, the U.S. is likely to be unhappy with this position you've taken as South Africa. Are you concerned at all about what could happen if the U.S. continues to push for you to assist the 30 Kenyan-based staff? Do you think that this could, escalate into a diplomatic standoff if you continue to stand firm and say, we are not going to assist because we don't think the people who have come to the U.S. are refugees?
Yeah, that is always possible with the current administration. But as a South African government, we can't break the law. to assist a program that we have already said is illegitimate. But even if the program was legitimate, it was still supposed to comply with the South African laws. So, but also with the international law, as I have already said, the international conventions of the UN. So this program, one, it does not comply with the South African law. Two, it also does not comply with international law. So as a constitutional democracy, we can't break our laws for a program that I've already said. But also we in any other situation, we can't break the law for any other country. So it is in this regard that the South African government has to stand firm on this, and we have explained it to the U.S. mission and to the authorities that this does not suit all our laws. It is not in compliance, and we have to respect our laws, and we also have to respect international law. And in South Africa, with our history of apartheid and the program that was clearly for preference of white Afrikaners, it really brings and evoke those very bad memories of apartheid.
Do we know how many more people still want to be part of the so-called African refugee program? How involved have you been as Pretoria in as far as this program is being run by the U.S.?
We are not involved at all with this program. It's only when the U.S. Notifies us that these are the numbers that they've gone through and that they believe have qualified, that they have processed, that we get to know of the program. But we are not involved at all, because we have stated from the beginning that we view this as a preferential treatment of Afrikaners in South Africa, on the basis of what they say they are facing a genocide in South Africa. And there is no genocide here in South Africa. And we do not think that there is any basis for the South African government to assist, no legal obligation for us to assist this program.
All right. Minister of International Relations, Ronald Lamola, thanks for chatting to us.
702. Coming up, the big interview.
On the big interview after the news at 7 o'clock, we'll be asking why the National Police Commissioner has decided to return the over 120 police dockets to the political killing stars team, and where were these dockets all along? That's a conversation coming up after the news at 7 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Taxi services will continue in most parts of Gauteng, but limited in others. And detectives have been given the green light to take a deep dive into probing political killings. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Taxi body Santaco has confirmed that there won't be a province-wide shutdown in Gauteng this morning. Santaco says only parts of Ekurhuleni will be temporarily affected by ongoing disputes over the impoundment of taxis. Commuters are concerned after services were halted yesterday in Ekurhuleni. Santaco says it's in talks with government to find lasting solutions. Mongezi Koko takes a look.
Santaco's leadership says claims of a wider taxi shutdown are misinformation, insisting no protest action is planned for today or the days ahead. The body confirms negotiations are underway with the Transport Ministry and the Gauteng Provincial Government over the targeting of 10-seater vehicles, commonly called baby buses. Santaco Gauteng Secretary Graham Fritz.
We wish to make it clear that there will be no province-wide protest or suspension of services in Gauteng. Commuters across the province can continue to rely on normal taxi operations.
Santaco says an update on Ekurhuleni operations will be issued once talks reach a resolution. Mongezi Koko, Eyewitness News.
The KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team will resume its investigation into 121 dockets which were snatched from the unit allegedly by crime detection boss Shadrack Sibia. Yesterday, National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola announced that the dockets were being returned to the task team. In his explosive press briefing last month, KZN top cop Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi revealed that the dockets had been taken by Sibia and now suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu accusing them of interference. Khomoto Modise reports.
The return of the 121 dockets from the Crime Detection Office to the KZN Political Killings Task Team means investigations will resume and prosecutions may follow. But National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says it's not likely to be a swift process.
You should know that by nature, the dockets that are carried by the political task teams are not simple. They are very complicated. It's not easy to investigate them. And so you really won't expect arrest soon in those dockets. They are quite complex. They vary from murder, attempted murder, intimidation.
Masemola says the dockets have been inspected by detectives for any discrepancies, and if any tampering is suspected, it will be flagged. Khomoto Modise, Eyewitness News.
The father of slain 4-year-old Nada Jane Chalita says he can finally rebuild his life after his ex-girlfriend was found guilty of the child's premeditated rape and murder. Yesterday, the Johannesburg High Court found former preschool teacher Amberly Hughes raped and drowned the child in a bathtub full of cold water in 2023. As the child's secondary caregiver, Hughes was left to look after her by the father, who was her partner at the time. Eli Chalita says the guilty verdict has brought so much relief.
One step on a step ladder after I fell from the top of it. I was on the top of the step ladder. I fell all the way from top to the down on my head. I lost my child. I lost my entire life. And today I'm taking the first step on that same step ladder again, just looking forward. From today I can say, I can think of looking forward.
The case is expected back in court for sentencing in October. And U.S. Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned the endless catalogue of horrors in Gaza after nearly 2 years of war, while the territory's civil defense reported dozens killed by Israel. The vast majority of Gaza's population of more than 2 million people has been displaced at least once during the war, with aid groups on the ground warning against expanding the military campaign. Israel's retaliatory offense has killed more than 62,000 Palestinians in Gaza, most of them civilians, since October 2023. That followed attacks by armed group Hamas when it killed more than 1,200 people in Israel, also mostly civilians, and more than 200 others were taken hostage. Guterres says Gaza is piled with rubble, bodies, and examples of what may be serious violations of international law.
I appeal once again for an immediate and permanent ceasefire and further humanitarian access across Gaza and the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. Starvation of the civilian population must never be used as a method of warfare. Civilians must be protected. Humanitarian access must be unimpeded. No more excuses, no more obstacles, no more lies.
Gold is trading at $3,412.57 an ounce. The rand is at 17.72 to the dollar, 23.93 to the pound, 20.67 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $68.18 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N12 as well as the R24 west between Edenville Road and the Kilulis interchange. That's due to an accident there. While traveling on the Mike 1 North, that accident that was right near the Crown interchange has been cleared. Traffic is now a bit slow still coming out of Boyson's Road. And then traveling in Rivoli, an accident seen along Main Reef Road. It happened right at Nasrec Road and it's causing heavy delays.
And in your sport, Christian Coleman beats Akani Sambini by 0.02 seconds in the 100-meter men's final in Zurich. Bafana coach Hugo Broos relying on the youngsters to carry them through next week's World Cup qualifiers. And pressure on the Bulls going into the final 2 rounds of the Currie Cup. They take on the Lions tomorrow at Ellis Park.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg is at a low of 14 degrees, peaking at 27. Pretoria, 15 and 29. Vereeniging, 14 and 28. The top story in EWN this hour. Taxi body Santaco has confirmed that there won't be a province-wide shutdown in Gauteng this morning.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 7 o'clock. Dumelang, good morning. Welcome to the Friday edition of 702 Breakfast. Clement Banyatela here in for Bongani Bingwa with the usual team. Rafiwa and Sia taking your calls. Mateo and Amo are here in studio with us. And we've been taking your calls, your WhatsApps as well, around a number of conversations we're having on the show this morning. How interesting is this position that our government is taking, responding to the U.S. expectations? Remember, the U.S. State Department wants to fly in staff from Kenya to South Africa to fast-track the applications for as part of this white Afrikaners refugee. And the Minister of International Relations says the position they've taken is that they are not going to make any concessions to facilitate what they are calling an illegitimate process that misuses the definition of refugee. And of course, the question is, how is the U.S. going to respond to this? The minister says, well, it doesn't really matter. They do expect that maybe the U.S. may be upset about the position South Africa is taking, and I wonder what the consequences would be, because you just never know with the United States. If you don't do anything they don't like, if you keep being friends with people they don't like, they always somehow find a way to retaliate. Will they retaliate now that South Africa doesn't want to help with fastening the process to bring in these Kenyan staff members to South Africa to work on this white Afrikaner refugee program? Well, we wait and see. We've also been asking you if you actually go around trying local food when you travel. Does trying unusual local food make travel more exciting for you, or do you prefer sticking to familiar flavors like myself when you are traveling?
Clement and team, trying the local cuisine is one of the best ways to immerse yourself in the local culture. Both kids, I've got two kids, they were fortunate enough to travel with the schools, and yeah, they even went as far as trying the local cuisine. When my daughter came home, we got gifts, and when we asked, what did you get yourself? She said, no. I mean, I listened to you. I tried the local cuisine because I told her, no McDonald's, no Pizza Hut, no KFC. If you really want the full experience, you try what the locals eat. Of course, in moderation, street food, not so much if it's not controlled. But yes, I'm all for trying out local cuisine. Shane from Pretoria.
Yeah, Shane, that's fascinating. Yeah, I don't know. I really struggle with that. I don't like trying food that I do not understand. Like, I've never had... Rafiwa, what were you asking? Rafiwa was asking if we've ever had snails, for instance. So I'm like, no. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying. I don't like trying new things, even here at home. Like, I'm used to just the usual stuff that I'm used to.
Even the food you cook every day is
I
so
eat
you won't
the same
cook
things.
Ostrich meat.
No.
You will not cook ostrich meat even if it's on the shelves in South Africa?
No, I'm not interested in trying ostrich. I think I have had it before, and probably that's because I was at a dinner and that's what they served as main, and I didn't have any other option. But I've accepted that I am not a person that just likes trying new things.
When it comes to food.
Yeah. So when I travel to countries that have like very unique kind of flavors in food, like I will Google like European restaurants. I'll go have my pasta. I'll go have my pizza or something. Yeah, I'm boring like that when I travel, and I've got friends who always want to try out all these wonderful things.
Yeah, good morning, breakfast team. Good morning. Clement, were you there at JP Cares Derby? I don't know now if Amos says that lady is mother of 2025. Where now, what do we call you? Because really, there are no kids yet, but you're already looking for schools. Yeah, I know. I don't know whether you will be a father of, I don't know, Clement. Yeah, no.
Is it wrong? Like, I mean, I didn't go to JP to look for a school. I went to JP because I was a supportive uncle.
Yes.
My friend's child plays rugby for Cares, and I went to support him.
And once you were there, you thought,
and I just saw the environment. And like, also, I come from like a village school in Limpopo. So it was interesting to see like an environment like that.
Yeah.
It just fascinated me, and I thought, Actually, it would be nice to have kids come to a school like this, where I can come watch them play rugby, or I can come watch them play hockey.
And see how the parents are with one another.
Oof, I love the camaraderie between the parents.
The students as well. Yeah.
It's fascinating, but I'm not necessarily shopping for schools yet. I mean, you need the kids first for that.
You're just saying you would consider that school if you were to have children.
Yeah, so let's work on the kids first, and then we'll... Yeah, let's work on the kids first. It's 13 minutes after 7.
7:02. Up next,
The big interview.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Amo, how are the roads looking?
Well, we've got delays on the N1 North between Malibongwe Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. This is due to peak time delays, while in four-ways, queuing traffic on Winnie Mandela Drive between Witkoppen Road and Leslie. There's also queuing traffic along the N1 South between Samrand Avenue and Olifantsfontein Road, while traveling on the N3 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between the Geldenes Interchange and Bodefontein Road. And then, of course, in the Diepkloof area, delays on the N1 North approaching the Diepkloof Interchange. That's due to peak time delays. I'll have more updates for you, but if you see anything else on the roads, we're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever late excuse number 83. You spilled coffee on your clothes and stopped at the shops to get a new shirt. Fortunately, with Outsurance pointsmen on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsmen easing traffic congestion and getting you there quickly and safely since 2005. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, show them some love online using hashtag pointsmenlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer in FSP.
For those 2 a.m. checkouts or the late night shifts, for the last minute orders and the beginning of the month rush, for the 9 to 5 that becomes a 5 to 9. You don't clock out, and neither should your payments. Pay fast by network, always open for the dreamers, the doers, for you. From e-commerce to in-store payments and business funding, we have you covered. Sign up today at payfast.io.
Celebrate the arrival of spring with jazz from all corners at Nairock Sculpture Park in the Cradle of Humankind on the 7th of September, featuring Kujenga, Tandintuli, Lindasi Kakani, and Siya Makuzeni. Nairock invites you to indulge in nature and art, exploring exhibitions on the rolling lawns and meandering waterways, a perfect occasion for family and friends with curated culinary pleasures and refined bar offerings. Limited tickets are available from nairocksarts.com. Nairox is a private not-for-profit foundation to benefit the arts. All income is used to maintain the grounds, the artist residency program, and artist support.
It's that time of the year. Sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, blocked noses and coughs. It's time to live, work, play and sleep allergy-free. For trusted relief for you and your family this allergy season, ask your pharmacist for the Adcock Ingram OTC Allergy Survival Pack. With products like Allergex Non-Drowsy, Cetisid, Levogex and more, we have you covered. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC. And visit beprepared365.co.za.
702 was live from the AXA International Indaba Conference Center as Airports Company South Africa announced their 2024-2025 annual financial results.
It's a very exciting day to announce the results for AXA with their sterling performance. What makes it so significant is that it creates a buffer, almost like a balance between aeronautical revenue, which is aviation revenue. It mitigates the risk. So you diversify revenue so that you don't have over-reliance on just one stream of income. That's a significant part of it. And it has been growing significantly, like almost balanced 50-50 with the aviation revenue in the past few years.
Airports Company South Africa is proud to be sustaining the pulse of SA's economy and global connectivity. Visit airports.co.za for more info. 702. Let's walk the talk.
702.
The big interview.
17 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's talk now about these 121 police dockets that are now heading back to KwaZulu-Natal's political killings task team. The dockets were controversially removed amid claims of political interference. Remember, this controversy blew up in July when the KZN Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Ndlovu Youth accused the police minister, Senzo Mchunu, of disbanding the task team and obstructing investigations into politically motivated murders. Mchunu has denied the claims and is now on special leave, while President Cyril Ramaphosa has launched a judicial commission of inquiry. Let's bring in Ian Cameron now, who is the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Police. Ian, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Clement.
What do you make of this decision by the police minister? I mean, does this mean the decision now, this decision by the police commissioner, and I wonder if it means that what Senzo Mchunu had then decided to disband this task team is now nullified?
Yeah, so just for clarity's sake, Minister Mchunu or ex-Minister Mchunu didn't have the mandate to make such a decision. Obviously, he could influence it to a certain extent from being minister, but he can't make operational decisions or give an instruction like that to someone. The National Commissioner must. So in terms of protocol, from my understanding, this is the way that it was meant to be done in the first place, in that the National Commissioner was the one that should have given the instruction or not.
Mm-hmm. The interesting thing here is that, I mean, the minister has, of course, the police commissioner has said in the past that there is no letter out there with his signature that approves the disbandment of the political task team. But what Shadrach Sibiya, the Deputy National Police Commissioner, has been arguing throughout is that, well, there are letters from the office of the National Police Commissioner, so he can't claim that he wasn't aware of this decision. He probably asked, I don't know, his chief of staff to send out a letter to Shadrach Sibiya to then look at this instruction from the police minister. So are you saying that it really doesn't matter whether the National Police Commissioner knew or not? At the end of the day, the police minister shouldn't have issued that instruction to begin with?
Correct. So I must also, again, for clarity's sake, the National Commissioner definitely did know about it, because this was before the Police Portfolio Committee in March, and it was specifically discussed. And you would remember that General Mkhwanazi made some of these allegations, not quite in the detail that we saw just over a month ago, but he made quite a few of the allegations during the committee, and caused quite a lot of doubt, or rather questioning of what is really going on inside the South African Police Service. Nonetheless, the point is that the National Commissioner was present there, as well as Minister Mchunu and obviously General Mkhwanazi. So there was an opportunity for clarity, and none of them chose to really speak, apart from General Mkhwanazi, who said certain things. So yeah, if the instruction didn't come directly from the National Commissioner, it's not something that can be done, in my opinion. And I think General Sibiya is in a very difficult spot to try and explain that.
Yeah. What work has the task team been able to do, Ian, from the information that's been provided to your committee? Because we've seen some key arrests in Gauteng. Apparently, that's from work that this task team has done. Do we know how successful this unit has been in its mandate?
Yeah, so the numbers that were given and that were shared by General Mkhwanazi specifically was that they'd investigated over, I think it was just over 600 dockets by about mid-2025. Those included murder, attempted murder, intimidation, etc. And remember, everything wasn't necessarily just political killing related, as he explained it. And they basically processed hundreds of dockets. If you look at the dockets that they did look into, it led to close to 300 arrests from what we know. And that was just since the 2018 establishment of a special task team regarding this specific matter. So the point is that there was quite a few. It had a very high conviction rate as well, according to what they told us. But on the other side now, Clement, there were many allegations of misuse of funds, the allegations of staying in luxury hotels and all sorts of things like that. And remember that this will form part of the ad hoc committee in Parliament's investigation regarding everything that General Mkhwanazi said during his press briefing.
How are you then going to, how are we supposed to balance, of course, what the work of the committee has done and, of course, the police commissioner's decision now to say that dockets must go back to this task team and as it continues its work with the complaints that have come even before your committee, and these complaints have made it on the minister's desk as well, that, as you say, this task team has been mismanaging some funds. They've also become a law unto itself. How did you deal with those issues as a committee?
Well, the way that it was reported to us by General Konazi, remember when he appeared before the Police Portfolio Committee, it was because we invited him after he said that there was an attempt to badmouth him and to damage his name amongst South African Police Service leadership. And he said that during Police Day in January. So we then invited him. He then appeared before the committee somewhere in March. And that was what the discussion was actually about. This political killing task team matter was also touched on, but not quite in the detail that we could have gone into at a later stage, because that wasn't the main focus of the discussion. Nevertheless, what will happen now is that all of the relevant persons will be invited to come to the ad hoc committee. I can't speak on behalf of the whole ad hoc committee, but what has been made public already is that obviously General Konazi will be the first one to come and appear before the committee as they've decided, and after that the rest of the investigation will continue. It's also important that regardless of what the National Commissioner decides at the moment, the request will likely be that there must be a relevant report indicating what happened to the dockets that were removed, what is the status of them, what was the status of them before they were removed, etc., etc.
How much resources do such task teams receive? Are you aware at all of this? Because there have been complaints of monies being mismanaged, and I wonder if there's a way for such units to account for the funds that get allocated to them. Is it funds from the slush fund, or is there a way to account here and say this is how much this task team has used, and this is what they use this money for and the resources?
Sure. So for a task team like that, it's they obviously have a specific allocated budget. When they start with the project or with the task team, there must be the relevant planning and the application for budget for that specific operation or task team or project to be granted. And obviously that then needs to hold them to account. My big question around it, and you actually touched on it now, is regarding the slush fund. The problem that I foresee with this whole matter is that the slush fund is somehow, or seems to be intertwined in all of the conflict inside the South African Police Service, especially as soon as it touches on crime intelligence. Now, you would know that the Divisional Commissioner of Crime Intelligence was one of the people that was arrested when a whole list of very senior people were arrested, specifically from crime intelligence, just a month or 3 ago. And that process is still ongoing. And he is also the same commander of the political killing task team. So it does make the water quite murky and blurs the lines quite a bit. So I'm not 100% sure how the National Commissioner intends to approach the leadership of the political killing task team, considering what has happened over the last few months. And it does make it difficult to ensure that there is the relevant, not only accountability, but that there really is public trust in it. Because no matter from which direction you look at it, whether they are good or bad, allegedly, it has murkied the water quite a bit.
Ian Cameron, thank you so much for speaking to us. He's the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Police in Parliament. 27 after 7.
It took patience, perseverance and audacity to get my first call-up and win with the Bokke. And we did it together. That's why I, Dion Free, partnered with African Bank so I can win big with a 60-month fixed deposit. Patience brings results. Join the bank that backs you. Get a 12.8% return at expiry on your investment. Visit africanbank.co.za or a branch for assistance. African Bank, audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
It's time to be part of the change. GovTech 2025 is happening 8th to the 10th of September at the Durban ICC. Experience cutting-edge innovation, inspiring speakers and powerful collaborations shaping the future of digital government. From policy to AI, cybersecurity, data, cloud and connectivity, this is the platform for transformation. Don't miss South Africa's flagship digital government conference where innovation meets impact. Register now at govtech.gov.za and be part of shaping the future.
Unleash your beauty at Dis-Chem's Beauty Fair, where color meets confidence. Going bold? Red lips and power brows say it all. Flirty and fun. Smoky eyes, glossy lips and lashes for days. From effortless chic to full glam fabulous. Your perfect look starts here. Dis-Chem's Beauty Fair is on. Shop the hottest cosmetics, fragrances and skincare at prices too good to resist. Don't miss out. Offers end 14 September.
EWN Business.
28 after 7, Mateo Kharipe here with your business news. Mateo, Ford says it will be cutting jobs in South Africa. I wonder if this has anything to do with the tariffs announced by the US.
I think it definitely does because they talk about market conditions being the reason for this particular cut. Automaker Ford South Africa has given official notice of its intention to retrench its employees here in South Africa. The group plans to cut 470 positions, affecting workers at the Silverton plant in Pretoria and the Stroondale engine plant in Gqeberha. Now, according to the notice, Ford says the job losses follow a realignment of its production capacity to match current and expected market conditions. Now, Trade Union Solidarity says the cuts would affect 391 operator positions in Silverton and 73 at Stroondale, while 10 administrative positions are also up for the cut. Now, in April, the Trump administration announced a 25% tariff on automotive exports to the United States, on top of a 10% universal tariff that took effect in April. The tariff hikes have compounded problems faced by car manufacturers in the country, including competition from Asian brands as well as cash-strapped consumers not willing to buy new vehicles. The job cuts will be yet another hit for the automotive industry in the Eastern Cape, which has already faced closures for the Goodyear and ContiTech operations. Then looking at other news on the market, the Competition Tribunal has accepted a 30 million rand settlement with Toyota and its major car financing companies. The settlement concludes a long-running case which alleged Toyota Financial Services South Africa and Westbank were involved in market division, depriving clients of service choice. Now, the market division specifically barred Westbank, a division of JSE-listed First Rand, from directly providing motor vehicle finance to customers purchasing new Toyotas, Lexus and Hino vehicles, as well as used vehicles sold through authorized Toyota dealerships. So they've been slapped then with that 30 million rand fine.
How are the markets?
Well, the markets were weaker yesterday, led down by mining shares, which were down 1.5%. Industrial shares were also in the red. The rand in this hour, 17 rand 71 against the US dollar, in some weakness at 20 rand 65 cents against the euro and at 23 rand 91 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $3,408 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,351. Brent crude at $67.56 a barrel. I'll have more news for you after 8.
7:31, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. And this Eyewitness News is brought to you by Bathroom Bazaar, pulling the plug on high prices. Fiso, what's going to happen to this police officer who misused company resources?
Well, Clement, the KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Ndlovu Youth has instructed that the officers be face conduct and be released of their duties. The pair was captured on a video that's gone viral showing an SAPS Paki with blue lights dropping off the learner at the event. One of the officers can be seen outside the car carrying a work rifle, and the police's spokesperson Robert Nechewunda says their conduct will be investigated.
I have instructed the District Commissioner of Utukela to ensure that the immediate commander of the officers involved must take urgent disciplinary steps against them. We cannot afford to have police officers who report for duty but use their resources for their personal gain.
He says Mkhwanazi added that the officers must account for their action.
I further instructed our finance and supply chain management officers to determine the financial loss that the state could have suffered by that unauthorized activity. State petrol, state time and running cost of that vehicle should be claimed from those members. Communities always complain that when they call police stations, they are told that there are no vans, whilst police officers are gallivanting with state resources that are meant to serve the communities.
Peter de Villiers' lawyers say there's no plan to take any further action after the former Springboks coach was acquitted of sexual assault charges. De Villiers' Section 174 application was heard in the Vredenburg Magistrates Court 2 weeks ago, and yesterday judgment was delivered. The charges stem from a complaint filed while de Villiers was part of the Good Party caucus in Vredenburg in 2024. His lawyer, Hendrik Leroux, says they will study the court judgment.
We will at some stage address and study the case record and the judgment and decide what route Mr. de Villiers would take in future in regarding this case. But at this stage, there's no plans of continuing with anything further. But obviously his rights remain reserved in this regard.
Leroux says while de Villiers is relieved, he's a bit sad after proceedings concluded.
He lost a lot in the process because in his time he also lost 2 family members who were close to him, his wife and his daughter. And he was fighting his battle on his own.
Consumers could pay more for electricity after energy regulator NERSA reached a 54 billion rand settlement with Eskom related to the electricity price increases. The settlement comes after the power utility launched a judicial review challenging NERSA's original revenue decision. Earlier this year, NERSA granted Eskom increased revenues over the next 3 financial years after the energy utility reported a revenue shortfall of 107 billion rand. Eskom then lodged the judicial review of NERSA's decision, prompting the 54 billion rand settlement after NERSA admitted errors in its calculations. NERSA spokesperson Charles Hlebela.
After rectifying the identified error, NERSA concluded that Eskom was entitled to an additional 54 billion rands over the 3-year MYPD6 period.
Hlebela says due to the process being under judicial review, NERSA could not undertake any public participation process.
And this settlement will only be effective after it has been made an order of the court, which has not yet been secured. It is also important to indicate that there will be no additional price increase for the current 2025-26 financial year.
And Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has urged Western allies to send a strong joint signal to Vladimir Putin after Russia killed 23 people in one of the deadliest attacks on Kyiv since the start of the war. Russia has rained down aerial strikes on Ukrainian cities despite US President Donald Trump's push for a ceasefire, and even as Moscow's talks up the importance of ending the conflict ignited its full-scale invasion in February 2022. The latest attack saw Russian missiles and drones rip through buildings in the Ukrainian capital, blasting a 5-story crater in an apartment block and leaving 4 children dead. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 14 and 15 degrees, peaking at highs between 27 and 29.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident reported along the N12 West in the Boksburg area. It happened right near Atlas Road. It's causing delays coming out of Snake Road. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N17 West, bumper-to-bumper traffic between Carnival City and Osborne Road due to roadworks.
The top story this hour, Ndlovu Mkhwanazi says officers who used a police vehicle for a matric dance will be investigated.
For mind-blowing bathroom specials, come to Bathroom Bazaar. Celebrate spring with a small upgrade that makes a big difference. Get 15% off all taps at Bathroom Bazaar so you can freshen up in style. That's right, 15% off all taps at Bathroom Bazaar. But hurry, only while stocks last. That's P-I-Z-A-R-R-E. Come to Bathroom Bazaar. Come to Bathroom Bazaar. Bathroom Bazaar, pulling the plug on high prices.
At Premier Hotels and Resorts, business travelers staying alone enjoy a complimentary drink every night of their stay. So, whatever your tipple, it's on the house at any of our 24 hotels and resorts nationwide. Book today at premierhotels.co.za.
Life has its own rhythm, but muscle and joint pain may upset the beat.
Noflex gel.
Trust Noflex Gel's triple action formula to target muscle pain, reduce inflammation, and help numb the affected area.
Noflex gel.
So, get your beat back and reclaim the rhythm of life.
Noflex gel.
Beat the pain with Noflex Gel and higher strength Noflex Gel Fort. For more information, speak to your healthcare professional.
Live extra at Checkers, SA's #1 value for money supermarket. And save on export quality blueberries, a 125-gram cup for $32.99. Steakhouse Classic man-sized T-bone steak for 140 Rand per kilo. And Twin Saver 2-ply white toilet rolls, a 24-pack for $159.99. Valid until Sunday at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Good morning, 702. This is David from Pretoria. I just want to maybe suggest something, that we have a dual meeting with the Minister regarding the refugee status of the Afrikaans people, plus with the American representative as well, just to discuss both sides of the story.
Morning, Clement and team. This is Robert Telomanar from Piri in Soweto. In 2018, I traveled to Malaysia, and I made sure that I never ever touch anything that I'm used to. At some point, I found myself eating some local cuisine. It's a snake, and it tasted amazing. I loved it. I never ever. In 2022, I was in Qatar for the World Cup. Never ate anything I could identify. But hey, my stomach, I know it spoke to me at night. Yeah, but it's a good way to immerse yourself in the local culture. Thank you. Have an amazing day, and condolences on the passing of Aus Matsidiso.
Thank you, my brother. The first voice note around hearing two sides of the story. What else do you want to hear from the United States? So let's look at what the definition. So we've got multilateral organizations like the United Nations, right? They're supposed to guide us on a number of issues. How does the United Nations define refugees? The United Nations refugee definition requires persecution or conflict. Is that what's happened to Afrikaner, white South Africans in this country? And if that's really the case, because if there is persecution, that's across the board. And that's what the United Nations refugee definition actually requires. But the United States has decided to create and curate its own definition of refugee. So when you say two sides, I'm not sure what you are looking to get from the United States State Department. And trying a snake, huh? Where was that?
Didn't he say Malaysia?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And he said he tried all different types of cuisines, and his stomach really gave him a good run in the evening. But he didn't even regret it because it was worth the experience.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm sorry. In fact, it's when I'm in those countries that I'm going to ask. Even when they give me chicken, I want to ask again, are you sure? Is this really chicken? I just want to make sure. 19 minutes before 8.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. All you have to do is SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on car insurance. And today's answer comes from Lance. Lance, how you doing?
I'm fine, Clement.
Please, I'm good, man. Please give us today's answer.
The answer is 1958.
Okay, so 1958 is the answer. And have you recently requested a quote from Outsurance?
Yes, I have.
Okay, Lance, listen, congratulations. Congratulations. You have won yourself 1,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Now, if you know what's the question, you can be the seventh caller right now on 011-883-0702. T's and C's on primemediaplus.com. The answer is 1958. So, what's the question?
EWN Sport.
This EWN Sport is brought to you by RMB Corporate Banking. Ready, set, cash flow. Cindy Paluta, good morning.
Clement, my lead is Akani Sambini, and you told me a great story off air.
Yes, so I was in the Seychelles in August for my birthday, and I was staying at this wonderful resort, and there was a guy, because, you know, the houses are like in the mountains. Wow. So they come get you with a cart to take you if you want to go down to the beach. It's really heavenly. It's paradise. And so there's a guy who was coming to the room if you need to be transported down, and he is a runner. And in the Seychelles, I mean, you know how many people live in the Seychelles? There's like 100,000.
I was going to say like 10 people.
Imagine
4 of them drive
people.
carts.
So this guy explains to me that when I told him I'm from South Africa, he was like, oh my goodness, do you know Akani? I was like, yeah, that's our guy. And he's like, well, we know that guy. We run with him because he's a professional runner himself. He's like, do you know how revered that man is here in the Seychelles? We love him so much. But he looks up to Akani himself because he is a runner. But he's like, I am nowhere near him. He's too fast for me.
It's incredible, hey? I sometimes think South Africans in certain sports get revered more outside of the country than inside of the country, right? So we see it with the golfers, Ernie Els, all of them. I mean, there was Ernie in the White House going, oh gosh, how did I get here? But Akani Sambini is one of those for me. Because if you think about it, the amount of coverage that Usain Bolt got every time he ran. And then Akani runs and you're like, oh yeah, Akani's running tonight. Or oh, it's just, he's actually, we don't praise Akani Sambini enough for what he is currently achieving.
Yeah, and he's achieving a lot.
A lot, because last night he missed out on victory in the men's 100 meters by 0.01 seconds at the Diamond League in Zurich. A photo finish determined Chris Coleman won in 9.97 seconds. Here's Sambini.
That was always the plan, you know. I think for us it was making sure that we actually get to the final in shape and get to world champs in shape. I think the middle of the season was, you know, a place for us where we got to go into training blocks and got to go into a big load and not have the fast times, but making sure that we're getting the load in for training. And yeah, it's going to start paying off now and into the champs.
Bayanda Walaza pulled up injured, unfortunately, in the race. He's a doubt for the World Athletics Champs in Tokyo in less than 3 weeks' time. Bafana team to play Lesotho in Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers in September has some new faces, including Mdu Shabalala and Kamogele Sebelebele. Here's coach Hugo Bruce.
First of all, it was not so easy to make a selection now because there are few players who are not there because of injuries and disagreements with the clubs. But at the other side, we have a pool of players, of young players. And when the opportunity is there, I think you have to give them the chance. You see players like Sebelebele, you see players like Shabalala, the progression they make, you have to give them the chance.
In the Betway Premiership tonight, Sibulele host Richards Bay. Tomorrow, Sundowns at Stellenbosch Chiefs at Arrows. In the pick of the Premier League action this weekend on Sunday, Liverpool are hosting Arsenal. At the Women's Rugby World Cup, the Springbok women take on Italy on Sunday afternoon at 4:30. Centre Zenkler Mapupa on her expectations.
We've played them once in Women XV. They brought the flair. They're a very skillful team, and we're just really focusing on ourselves this weekend and just know that what we're going to bring as a team, and we're just sharpening those areas as well.
In the Currie Cup, 2 rounds left and 6 of the 8 teams can still make the final 4. The Bulls under the most pressure. They have to win their last 2 games, playing the Lions tomorrow at Ellis Park. And at the US Open, Sinner once again cruising through along with Zverev, but the 9th seed Kachanov is out. On the women's side, Coco, Anisimova and Swiatek all through to the 3rd round. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Feeling some lag in Sector 3?
Copy. Optimizing working capital. Ready. You're approaching a tight corner. Cash flow pressure ahead.
Low on liquidity. Supply pressure is building. Set.
Deploying cash injection in 3, 2, 1, flow.
Nice move. Better supply chain control.
Lab time advantage. Faster cash cycles, leaner inventory, and optimized working capital.
Ready, set, cash flow. Corporate banking from RMB. RMB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by the new Opel Grandland with smart tech and striking design. It's German engineering on a grand scale. Test drive one today at your nearest Opel dealer. More peak time delays. How are we looking on the roads?
Yeah, well, on most routes, Clement, on the N1 South in the city of Tshwane, this is between the Proof Plus interchange and Linwood Road. There's also queuing traffic along the R80 East Mabopane Highway just as you approach the Eskom Pakele exit, while traveling on the Mike 1 South, we've got delays. This is just as you approach Empire Road. This is in the Parktown area, whereas in the northerly direction of this route, delays from the Crown turn off to Empire Road. And then, of course, in Boksburg, that accident reported on the N12 West right near Atlas Road. It is causing delays from Snake Road, and there's also queuing traffic along the N17 West between Carnival City and Osborne Road. This is also within the greater region of Ekurhuleni, and that's due to the roadworks that are taking place along this route. So please be on the lookout and drive with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Don't ever settle for great. You know that great feeling after nailing a big presentation? Imagine upgrading that. I'm talking driving home with your car's massage seat, practically high-fiving your bum. Headlights so bright, you feel like the star your boss said you were. Arriving home, making an entrance, grander than your slide transitions. Go grand in the new Opel Grandland, designed and made in Germany. Visit opel.co.za for more.
Opel Grandland.
702.
What's the question?
All right, so we got the answer earlier from Lance, and that answer is 1958. So if today's answer is 1958, for 2,000 Rand in cash thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question. Timothy, you are our 7th caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Clement. And the question is, which year was the world-famous entertainer and king of pop, Michael Jackson, born?
All right. And have you requested a quote before from Outsurance?
Yes, I have.
Well, guess what, Timothy? You have won yourself 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Enjoy it.
Outsurance made it possible for us to travel more with the money that we save. 725. This is really real.
You are the biggest saver we've ever had.
2,794 Rand a month. It was the easiest switch ever. Get real.
How is it that Outsurance provided the solution for you?
918 Rand is what I'm saving.
Incredible.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands.
Just phone Outsurance, get a quote and see what they can offer you. If you don't save that 321 like I did, you might say get a 500 or $1,000 back. Service and savings, you'll always get something out. So what was the real deal they could offer you?
870.
That's amazing. What brought you and Outsurance together?
718 Rand. I end up saving.
They gave you the real deal.
It literally is the real deal.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Amuramela, how are the roads looking?
Well, in Boksburg, Clement, we've got heavy traffic volumes on both the N17 and the N12 West. So on the N12 West, it's an accident right near Atlas Road, delays from Snake Road. And then on the N17, we've got roadworks that are taking place between Carnival City and Osborne Road. And that's the reason for that long backup along this route. So please be on the lookout there and try to avoid if you can. If you're traveling on the N3 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between the Geldenhuys interchange and Modderfontein Road, that's due to peak time delays. There's also peak time pressure along the Mike 1 North between the Crown interchange and Empire Road. More updates coming up shortly.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Explore the wonders of Mpumalanga. Discover the ultimate wildlife experience that brings you closer to nature. Get your adrenaline rush with endless adventure activities. Explore breathtaking 4x4 routes or hike the Blythe River Canyon, the third largest in the world. Unwind with spectacular landscapes and majestic waterfalls. Make Mpumalanga your destination of choice. Mpumalanga, embrace the unknown, live the adventure. This message is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising star. Visit mpumalanga.com for more information.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for butcheries, restaurants, beauty salons, and more. Here's Gert.
I definitely have peace of mind that Business Outsurance is protecting our business.
I do think Business Outsurance are the best insurance company out there, and they gave us the best quotes.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Are you ready to explore your beautiful country in style? With Lekker Slaap's user-friendly accommodation booking app, finding the perfect stay has never been easier. Whether you're dreaming of a beach escape, a bush retreat, or a city adventure, Lekker Slaap has you covered with thousands of stays for every budget. Join millions of happy South Africans who book their stays on Lekker Slaap. Download the Lekker Slaap app today and easily book your next holiday.
Hey, no longer feeling like the man you used to be? The man who has inside jokes with complete strangers. The fact is, 95% of men with low testosterone go untreated. Vitamin High Performance Supplements for men helps recharge energy, regain lean muscle, and reload performance. Available at all good pharmacies and vitalamin.co.za. Vitalamin. Don't get older, get better.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Good morning, Clement. Good morning, 702 Landers. It's a Friday. Yeah. Yo, when I Clement, I was so skeptical. I've just tried the giraffe meat. Yo, I was so scared, but to my surprise, it was so tasty. To me, it tasted like a beef stew. And one other thing I was so skeptical to taste was a crocodile mince. Yo, it was so tasteful as well. I've never tasted so delicious mince like that before. So, yeah, man, that is it. Thank you guys for the great show as always. May Tidi Maria's soul rest in precious peace. Thank you. That's Tebogo in Pankop Savannah section.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Tabogo. What are you guys eating? Huh? Crocodile mince.
It's always the meats. Where are the vegetables? Do people not eat vegetables when they travel?
I mean, yeah, but...
Yeah, I want to hear the vegetables, the fruits. Let's talk about that.
It's just meat, snakes, crocodiles, and giraffes. It's going up to 5 minutes before 8.
Hello? Hey, Clement, Mohammed in Rustenburg. Yeah, this trying of food and looking for experiences, I sometimes just have to wait. I tried ostrich a few years ago. I cooked the ostrich neck. It's a nice piece of meat. Recently, I tried to go for an ostrich ram steak or something. I cooked that food so nicely, but I ended up feeding it to the dogs because I couldn't stomach that whole thing. So maybe cooked with spices and whatnot, it was fine as ostrich tail. But the new one, it didn't work for me.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Kabazela, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Clem.
So, there is a special picture that's making the rounds, and it's really made us wonder, what are our favorite pictures and how do we bring them back to life? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, this was a really special post. I mean, you know that sometimes X can be quite a toxic place. So when I saw the story, I was like, wow, okay, we got to talk about this one. So it's from a woman, her handle is @Ntsepi, and she posted a picture, very old black and white picture, which has got a couple of creases in it, and she says, hey, @Grok. Grok is the AI application on X, right? And she says, this is the only picture I have of my mom. Can you please bring it to life? I'm starting to forget how she looked. I was 12 years old when she passed on, and then has 2 crying emoticons on the text. So, I mean, that's a hectic story if you think about it. I mean, you've got one picture of your mom who passed away at 12, and she's she's an adult now, so it's a long time. And that can happen. You start to forget what somebody looks like, and if you only have one picture left, which is a very old black and white photo, it's difficult to hold on to. So you can take old photos and you can ask Grok and other AI platforms to make the photo come alive or clean it up. And instead of Grok doing it, people had taken the photo she posted and they cleaned it up for her and they made it look so beautiful. And yeah, the photo just looks so nice. And here she has a real, cleaned up photo of her mum, which she can keep for many, many years to come. So I just thought it was a really, really beautiful story that people got involved here and try to help this woman who posted on X. So it got me thinking about photos. Have you got that one photo of yours that is very special, very dear to you? And it may be a physical photo from many, many, many years ago, or it could even be something that's on your phone and you make sure that you've downloaded it, you've got copies backed up, all that kind of stuff, because it's from a special memory, it's of a special person, it's you with that person, whatever it may be. So I'd love to know what that special photo is that you treasure. And who is it with? And what's the story behind it?
Yeah, give us a call. Send us a WhatsApp voice note. And then there's also this clip that's been going viral about gents and the different ways that they apologize.
Yeah, this gave me a laugh. I mean, as guys, when we apologize, we're not the best sometimes, and we may make excuses with our apologies. So this content creator has come up with maybe some of the most commonly used lame excuse or apologies that guys may use. Take a listen and see if you can relate to any of these apologies.
I've already said sorry. I don't know what else you want me to do. This is all my fault. Are you happy now? I am sorry. That you took it that way. Nothing I ever do is good enough for you, is it? If I'm so bad, you should just break up with me. I'm sorry. It's just really not that deep. It isn't. All you ever want to do is argue. Wait, are you actually mad at me for this? I'm sorry, okay? I am the worst guy in the entire world. Is that what you wanted to hear? I actually think you owe me an apology. Your reaction to this is unbelievable.
Wow, yeah. I wouldn't say where I fit in those options because, yeah, that's quite interesting. All right.
I've used one or two of those before, ashamedly.
011-883-0702. What's your way of apologizing? And maybe you want to tell us how your significant other often apologizes. Give us a call or send us a WhatsApp voice note.
702 Feedback
with Rupfiwa Kone.
Rupfiwa, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Clement.
What do you have for us?
Clement, listeners are actually responding to your big interview with Ian Cameron, stressing that the task team that was eradicated previously was handling pretty serious cases, and they must be shielded from interference of their work. They must be given proper resources to provide and ensure that the investigation is carried out without fear or intimidation. And many also note that the arrests that have been taking place recently show how effective this task team is, and they believe it deserves the full support and protection from our authorities. And also, Clement, listeners are also weighing in on your question about foods they try out when they travel to other countries, and listeners are saying it's part of it's actually part of travel to immerse yourself in the culture of that country you're going to. So trying new things is an absolute yes for many of the listeners, Clement.
Yeah, I try more the languages, like teach me your language. I want to talk to the locals, but food, nah, and easy. It's a minute after 8. Thanks, Rupio.
This is EWN.
Gauteng will get its own political killings task team, and the UN chief again calls for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages. Good morning, I'm Sviso Zulu. Police Commissioner Fani Masimula says Gauteng's political killings task team will be launched in the next 4 weeks. Masimula announced the establishment of the task team yesterday, saying that it will bolster the investigation muscles in the province to work on unresolved cases. Masimula says that the Gauteng task team will be comprised of police officers from all over the country.
We have seen in KwaZulu-Natal, normally the locals doesn't work for us. It's best if you choose a team from the rest of the country. to go and do specific investigation. You can, well, not that there is no locals, there are, but very few.
Meanwhile, the KZN Political Killings Task Team will resume its investigation into 121 dockets which were snatched from the unit allegedly by crime detection boss Chadwick Sibia. In his explosive press briefing last month, KZN top cop Ndlovu Youth revealed that the dockets had been taken by Sibia and now suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, accusing them of interference. Khomotso Modise has more.
The return of the 121 dockets from the Crime Detection Office to the KZN Political Killings Task Team means investigations will resume and prosecutions may follow. But National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola says it's not likely to be a swift process.
We should know that by nature, the dockets that are carried by the political task teams are not simple. They are very complicated. It's not easy to investigate them. And so you really won't expect arrest soon in those dockets. They are quite complex. They vary from murder, attempted murder, intimidation.
Masemola says the dockets have been inspected by detectives for any discrepancies, and if any tampering is suspected, it will be flagged. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
It's been a bleak funding season for political parties in the first quarter of this financial year, with only 3 of them receiving donations. The DA is by far the largest beneficiary, followed by the ANC and Action SA leader Herman Mashaba, propping up his own party. In total, 40 million rand in funding was reported to the Electoral Commission, which says it expects funding to increase as the local government elections come nearer. Lindsay Dentlinker reports.
The 40.4 million rand disclosed in this quarter is more than double the amount reported in the last 2 quarters of the previous financial year. The lion's share of the money, of more than 32 million rand, has been donated to the DA by 13 donors. A regular benefactor, Fynbos Capital, a company linked to Capitec founder Michiel Leroux, made the most substantial donation of 15 million rand and a further 10 million rand from another of his companies, Fynbos Equitate. The party again also received a generous training and skills in-kind donation worth more than 1 million rand from the Friedrich Naumann Foundation. Smaller donations came from a range of investment companies and individuals, including one of its MPs, Mark Burke, who donated 132,000 rand. The ANC again tapped into its Chancellor House Investment Fund, drawing down 7.6 million rand, its only donation. Action SA leader Herman Mashaba made the party's single donation of 520,000 rand. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has condemned the endless catalogue of horrors in Gaza after nearly 2 years of war, while the territory's civil defense reported dozens killed by Israel. The vast majority of Gaza's population of more than 2 million people has been displaced at least once during the war, with aid groups on the ground warning against expanding the military campaign. Israel's retaliatory offensive has killed more than 62,000 Palestinians in Gaza, most of them civilians, since October 2023. That followed attacks by armed group Hamas when it killed more than 1,200 people in Israel, also mostly civilians, and more than 200 others were taken hostage. Guterres says Gaza is piled with rubble, bodies, and examples of what may be serious violations of international law.
I appeal once again for an immediate and permanent ceasefire and further humanitarian access across Gaza, and the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. Starvation of the civilian population must never be used as a method of warfare. Civilians must be protected. Humanitarian access must be unimpeded. No more excuses, no more obstacles, no more lies.
Gold is trading at $3,412.57 an ounce. The rand is at 17.72 to the dollar, 23.93 to the pound, 20.67 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $68.18 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the N1 North right near Malibongwe Drive. It's causing delays from Bears-Nadia Drive. Malibongwe Drive in itself is backed up approaching the N1 exit while travelling in Bedford View. Delays along the N12 as well as the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Gilulis interchange.
And in your sport, Christian Coleman beats Akani Sambini by 0.02 seconds in the 100-meter men's final in Zurich. Bafana coach Hugo Broos relying on the youngsters to carry them through next week's World Cup qualifiers. And pressure on the Bulls going into the final 2 rounds of the Currie Cup. They take on the Lions tomorrow at Ellis Park.
A fine Friday in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 14 degrees, peaking at 27. Pretoria 15 and 29. Vereeniging 14 and 28. The top story in EWN this hour. National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula says Gauteng's political killings task team will be launched in the next 4 weeks.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 8 o'clock. Dumelang, welcome to the third and final hour of 702 Breakfast. Clement Banyatela here. In for Bongani Bingwa, we've got Rafiwa and Sia taking your calls. We've got Amor Ramela and Mateo Khwarepe in studio with us. And the lady to my left. Someone just sent a WhatsApp asking who is the lady to Clement's left, because there are people watching us.
You don't want to know.
Trust me, guys, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. This is Palisa. That's our technical producer. So it's interesting, Mateo was telling Amo earlier, it's interesting how the technical producers are so different, right? Palisa is a bully on time. If you're not on time, she's like, she'll even fall.
She's always
trying
on
to
her
show
feet.
you. She's always on her feet because she wants you to be on time for the news, for everything. And then when I work with Abel on my show, Abel is more obsessed about like structure and the quality of the voice note. So if the voice note is not good, it upsets him. Or if you sometimes I come back from a news, I'm like, just go straight to voice notes. He's like, no, you have to come in and say hi, tell the listeners what time it is, and then go to voice notes. And then KG, I've picked up what he doesn't like is being interrupted. So don't talk in his ear when he's busy behind this desk. It's so fascinating.
It's his Zen moment. He's
so
locked in.
He's so locked in. That is so fascinating. We've been taking your calls on 011-883-0702. Your WhatsApps as well. Kabazela asked a very interesting question around how you apologize, especially more as a gent. And I want to know also from people, maybe you know how your partner normally apologizes to you. You know, I'm that kind of person who will say, I'm sorry you took it that way.
You strike me as a person that would say that. I'm not necessarily wrong.
I will
but I'm
debate
sorry
you,
took it that way.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry that you took it that way because I didn't do anything.
And have the people around you accepted this is who you are?
No, we still fight it out.
Still fight it.
How do you apologize? Send us a voice note on 072 702 and 702.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
Morning, Clement. Hope you're good with the 702 lenders. So, my apology as a guy to my friend or anyone, as long as you're a guy, you say, how can you do that? How can you do that in front of people? Go like, how about for? Can you took that serious? Hard, man. Hard. That's all. I've apologized.
Good morning, Bra Clement. Hey, I think I've used all of that examples of saying sorry. But I'm thinking now, my wife, I've never heard her say sorry to me. Do I have a perfect wife? Or what?
Morning, Clement. Thank you for the great show. So I'm a wife from Centurion, and I don't apologize. And I don't think wives should apologize. Wives are always right. Thank you. Happy Friday.
What? A wife is always right.
That's when you get lawyers involved at a later stage. Things don't work out.
How do you apologize?
I try to make sure it's sincere. It's different with my partner. I know she likes the eye contact to see that I'm really sorry.
What? I can't do eye contact.
Why?
It's just weird.
You've done wrong. You must account.
Look at you in the eye
and say you're sorry.
and
It's
hold your
genuine.
hand.
With my friends, it depends how big the fight is. If it was a small thing, you buy a bottle, that thing is settled. With family feuds, sometimes if it's really, really deep-seated fights and hatred that happened years ago and you want to apologize for something. Some people do buy goats and sheep and that's how you apologize. It's done. You wash each other's hands in a bowl or some sort and then, that's it.
Wow. Amo?
Apologies. Sincere.
Do you apologize, or are you also the wife that is always right?
No. I do apologize. I even apologize to my children because sometimes I don't want to leave that traumatic thing where I was shouting or was yelling and then it stays like that. I come back and I say, listen, I'm sorry that, mommy made you feel bad, but this is wrong. You must never do it again. And I hope you understand where mommy is coming from. To my husband, very sincere, baby, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do this. It won't happen again. But when he apologizes, Clement, we will go to Egypt, to Cairo before we get to the point.
That's me.
You'll literally see that chocolate bar. You'll hear the I love yous. And he says that all the time, mind you. It's not that he, you will see those flowers before we get to because I'm a words person.
So
I need to hear that.
You don't just want the gift.
No. I need to hear that. I need to hear that you are sorry.
Sure. Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, sometimes you just go, I mean, are we really fighting about this? Like, is it really that deep?
Yeah, because you're the wrongdoer.
But sometimes the things are just so frivolous. And you're like, really?
Clement, just apologize.
Well, I'm sorry for how it made you feel. I'll go with that. It's 13 minutes after 8.
EWN Traffic.
Amu, how's the roads looking this morning?
Well, I'm so sorry that people are stuck in traffic, Clement. We've got an accident on the N1 North. This is right near Malibongwe Drive. Delays from Beyers Nodia Drive. And if you're traveling along Sharon Lee through to areas like Streatham Park, we still have got delays on Malibongwe Drive approaching the N1, while in Paulshof, delays on Witkoppen Road approaching the Rivonia Road exit. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North. In fact, bumper-to-bumper traffic there between the Geldenhuys interchange and the Kilulis interchange. While that scene we spoke about earlier in Boksburg on the N12 West has been cleared, traffic is now flowing through Snake Road. We'll have more updates. Stay tuned.
Morning, Clement. Regarding the N17 roadworks, the delay, it's in addition to that, there's an accident just after Rondebault on your way to Joburg, so it looks fatal, so hence the delay. So I just wanted to add to that. Thank you, Nehing Boksburg.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Tidi was a regular stand-in. She often hosted this show, and she did such a stellar job because I always felt like if Tidi was on the show, it was a safe pair of hands. Tidi set the agenda. She always had the inside track. And Tidi, I'm so glad that you got to visit the White House, that you so patriotically represented your country, and that you got to live your best life and really, really shine. May your memory be a blessing.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
The South African Future Trust Summit's Premium Entrepreneurial Showcase returns to the Sandton Convention Centre on the 5th and 6th of November, bringing together entrepreneurs with bold ideas and big ambition. Come and witness the big pitch, where our 10 finalists will compete for the coveted $1 million business investment. Join masterclasses with industry experts who will share valuable knowledge on relevant topics and seize the opportunity to pitch your business ideas to leading investors. Don't miss out. Limited seats are available. Book yours now at summit.southafricanfuturetrust.org in partnership with 702.
Choose the best. The new Huawei Pura 80 series. The master of photography. A super sensor with precision zoom. Stay sharp from dawn to dusk with a superior 1-inch ultralighting camera and ultralighting macro telephoto lens. The master of color, enhancing every frame with vibrant color and incredible clarity. Tricky lighting? No problem. Take portraits against the light with every face perfectly illuminated. It's more than a phone. It's a professional studio in your pocket. Go beyond with Huawei Pura 80 series.
What if your till could think for you? Meet Yoko Counter, an all-in-one point-of-sale system that handles payments, real-time recons, and even tracks stock and staff. It's not just a brain saver, it's a time saver too. Yoko Counter, the smartest till you'll ever own. Upgrade your business at yoco.com.
The Checkers Hyper price drop is here. Save up to 40% on deals like Steakhouse Classic man-sized T-bone steak for 140 Rand per kilo. Save 20%. Coca-Cola Fanta Sprite or Stony 300ml bottles, any 24-pack for 139 Rand. Save 50 Rand. And Cadbury Assorted Mini Chocolate Bags, any 7 for only 299 Rand. Save 191 Rand. Deals valid until this Sunday. Only at Checkers Hyper.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
On the next Money Show, Keith Van Sale, co-founder and partner at Knife Capital, joins us as the headmaster of our weekly investment school. He'll look at the pros and cons of investing in unlisted companies. The IDC CEO, Mamakhoshi Lekete, delivers her maiden results as the company's new boss. Impala Platinum releasing its annual financial statements. Their CEO, Nico Muller, will take us through those figures and the state of the mining sector in general. Also, analysis of all the top business news of the day.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show, Stephen Curtis, is brought to you by APSA CIB, proud sponsor of the SARA Rail Conference 2025. Your story matters. APSA is a registered FSP.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
Hi Clement, it's Tabang here in Brits. Look, with my current partner, she used to pull her hair out when she would tell me that maybe she's taken aback by something I did. And I'll just say, look, I think it's unfortunate that you feel that way. Happy Friday, 702 team. Thank you so much.
Sorry, Ke. Just sorry. Sorry, Ke. That's how I apologize. Clement, Papa from Lenish here.
So much toxicity on 702 land, hey? Just say, babe, I'm sorry about this. It's just that sometimes, like, you haven't really done the thing, or you didn't intend to, but you're being made like you're this terrible human being. That's why I'm like, can we at least agree at, I'm sorry for how this thing has made you feel? Surely that's more reasonable, no? It's 19 after 8.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
So the G20 Correspondence Desk on 702 is proudly brought to you by RMB and FNB divisions of FirstRand Bank Limited. And South Africa's G20 presidency, as you know, is a moment to spotlight Africa's voice in shaping global priorities, from equality and education to sustainable growth. Now, with world leaders, change makers, and innovators coming together, these discussions have the potential to drive real, lasting impact. So EWN's Nokukanya Mtambo has been closely following the conversations and joins us to share what's emerging from the presidency and why it matters for the continent's future on 702. Nokukanya, good morning.
Good morning to you, Clem, and to the 702 Landers as well.
Let's start with what happened with the African Critical Minerals Summit. It's a 2-day event bringing together policymakers, industry leaders, economists, financiers, and experts to discuss Africa's mineral future. What was the big takeaway there?
So, Clem, at the moment, there's an increased demand for certain minerals, critical ones, your lithium, your cobalt, your nickel, your PGMs, the platinum group metals as well, especially because now those are central to the transition towards the energy transition as well as digital transformation. And so a huge portion of those critical minerals, Clem, are here on the African continent. And so there's conversations around that push for Africa to adopt critical minerals policies to maximize on value creation for the continent, and beneficiation and local production are obviously the big keywords there. The concern really, Clem, is that Africa exports a lot of its raw materials out into the rest of the world. Those get converted into finished products elsewhere and are then brought back to South Africa or sold back to the African continent, but at exorbitant prices. And so we're getting very little for what were originally raw materials from the continent. And so trying to push then for Africa to be able to produce local, produce finished products locally, and the continent being able to secure diversification for the economies here, growth, and then, of course, by implication, job creation. And for this to happen, Clement, this is a conversation that we've been having since we started the desk, going back to fixing infrastructure. Your infrastructure is going to be able to,
handle, local production. So your rails again, the roads, to be able to move your critical minerals from mines to refineries, building the refineries. At the moment, some of them are closing down. If you look at KZN, the refineries there are closing down. So going back to that as well, fixing those. Electricity is also a big one. Mining is an energy intensive industry. So, when we're in an era where there's load shedding, there's an impact on the mining sector and what we're able to do. So the crux of those conversations, and this also works back into the G20, so outside of the African Critical Minerals Summit, going back into the G20 as well, is developing local processing industries on the African continent, and those will of course boost your value creation and create not just jobs, but you're ensuring that there's skilled jobs, and then increasing your revenues, and by implication, of course, then you're dealing with your socio-economic issues, addressing the issues of poverty and so on. So you're diversifying the economies, you're moving up the value chain, and your economies on the African continent are then less exposed to volatile commodity prices and those volatile exchange rates.
Okay, so the Chinese ambassador to South Africa, Wu Peng, I see that he took part in a seminar by the South African Institute of International Affairs in Pretoria. I think that seeks to enhance global trade cooperation.
Absolutely.
What did he say about how Beijing will continue to deepen its bilateral ties with South Africa?
Yeah, it goes without saying, Clem, that the world at the moment is anxious around the sort of trade policies that we have since Donald Trump came back into office, the protectionist trade policies that have been adopted since then. And so the conversations around trying to work around that and the concerted effort to enhancing global cooperation, particularly when it comes to Asia and Africa relations. And so the question then becomes, and I think that's part of the answer really, but the question becomes whether the South-South cooperation are going to be the answer, are actually going to be the answer. And part of that then looks at the trade between Asia and Africa, looking at the corridor, that Asia and Africa corridor. If you narrow it and try to look at what it has been able to achieve so far, trade between Asia and China specifically and Africa reached $34 billion in 2024. There is a deficit there at the moment, but, still trying to work around that. But, there's value there at the moment. So Chinese Ambassador Wu Peng saying that there's a need to reform the trade relations, moving from the traditional exchange of goods that we have now into industrialization. And again, coming back to mining that we just spoke about with the African Critical Mining Summit, Clem, where you're able to grow the economy through mining and so on. And again, going back to diversifying your export markets. If you look then at, and you try to bring it a little closer, and you look at South Africa and China, South Africa already exports agricultural goods at a 0% export rate to China. And the conversation that Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen had about, I think, 2-3 weeks ago with the DTIC minister when they were doing trade updates was the conversations and the discussions at the moment around trying to secure a deal where our stone fruit are also going to the Asian markets, your plums, your apricots, your peaches. And so at the moment, that's what we're looking at. That Asia-Africa trade relations, very critical again, going back to what the G20 is able to do. So the Chinese ambassador to South Africa, doubling down on making sure that corridor is efficient.
Nokukhanya Mtambo, thank you very much. Now, hosted in Africa for the first time, this year's G20 summit focuses on solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Bringing you news and insights from the summit, tune into the G20 Correspondence Desk, brought to you by RMB and FNB, proud sponsors of this year's G20 summit. Guided by the spirit of Ubuntu, RMB and FNB empower communities. They are committed to a sustainable future and are deeply invested in humanity. RMB and FNB are divisions of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Adam Gilchrist, good morning.
Good morning, Clement.
So I see then renewed Russian attacks on Kyiv. I mean, we were getting some positive signs from the meeting that Vladimir Putin had with Donald Trump, and of course, the Ukrainian president with the EU leaders meeting with Trump as well. And even in the midst of all that, the efforts continue there in Kyiv from Russia.
Yeah, smoke signals were coming out of those meetings. Unfortunately, there's real smoke coming out of some of Ukraine's cities. We actually do have a Ukraine delegation meeting American officials in New York today. And again, they're discussing how to end the war. We know that European ministers have been meeting to discuss what happens after the end of the war, how Ukraine can be propped up, and the security arrangements for the future. But right now, the here and now is what troubles a lot of Ukrainians, most Ukrainians, including President Zelensky, who's accused Moscow of choosing, as he put it, ballistics ahead of the negotiating table. There doesn't seem to be much argument that Russia wants peace or is willing at all to negotiate and to come up with some sort of compromise, because the latest attacks were the second heaviest of the entire war against Ukraine. So 300 drones and missiles and ballistic missiles and flying bombs were fired, a lot of them at the capital, Kiev. And we know that 23 people were killed at least, and 4 children amongst the 23, dozens more people injured. And to target also what's essentially a civilian city. Is anyone buying the idea still that Russia is only targeting military targets? The European Union and the British Council buildings in Kiev were both hit and both badly damaged. So there have been all sorts of messages coming out of both London and Berlin and Paris. And it's a mess. It just doesn't look like it's coming to any kind of agreement, any kind of halt.
And yeah, Donald Trump was quite hopeful that the talks are beginning to at least get somewhere positive. Let's talk about Singapore now. I see they're imposing tougher penalties on vaping. Why? What's going on?
Well, I suppose the problem for us with vaping, and I'm pretty sure for you with vaping, is that a lot of it seems to be catching on with children, the caramel and bubblegum flavor and the bright packets and all that stuff. But in Singapore, they have an extra problem with drug-laced vapes, vaping with entomidate or entomidate, which is not something I've heard before, as you can tell. It's an anesthetic drug. It's become alarmingly popular. In fact, a third of all vapes seized were spiked with this stuff. They call them K-pods in Singapore, short for ketamine pods. So you get the idea that they're not benign little things, given that vapes aren't exactly popular amongst others anyway. So anyone caught faces in Singapore, I should stress, faces stiffer fines, longer jail terms, and even caning. Can you imagine being caned for vaping in the wrong place in Singapore? I mean, they're already pretty tough on litter bugs, spitting and chewing gum. So I suppose it was inevitable, wasn't it? Singapore is not somewhere you muck around with the law, is it?
Oh, absolutely. Adam Gilchrist, thank you with the World Report.
EWN Business.
Mateo Parepe is here with your business news. Mateo, talk to us about Truworths. They had some sales growth, but they're expecting lower earnings.
Yeah, Truworths, the retailer, saying sales grew by a modest 2.7% to 22 billion rand for the 52 weeks ending in June. The owner of brands like Uzi, DH and Hemisphere experienced margin pressure, leading to an 8% fall in headline earnings per share, which is a profit measure in South Africa, and a 7.9% drop in its dividend. The retailer says port congestion in South Africa and weak consumer demand led to those losses, while the UK-based office segment performed much better. Truworths saw its shares closed down by close to 7% on the JSE on Thursday. Then in other news, automaker Ford South Africa has given official notice of its intention to retrench employees. The group plans to cut 470 positions, affecting workers at the Silverton plant in Pretoria and the Stroondale engine plant in Gqeberha. According to the notice, Ford says the job losses follow a realignment of its production capacity to match current and expected market demands. Now, Trade Union Solidarity says the cuts would affect 391 operator positions in Silverton and 73 at Stroondale, while 10 administrative positions will be cut. Now, in April, the Trump administration announced a 25% tariff on automotive exports to the United States, on top of a 10% universal tariff that took effect. Now, the tariffs, as well as other market conditions, including stiff competition from Chinese brands coming into the country, as well as the cash-strapped consumers who are not willing to buy new cars has really hit the South African automotive industry. Then looking at the markets, they were weaker on Thursday, led down by industrials and mining shares. Looking at the companies that lost the most, Truworths down 6.8%, Sibanye-Stillwater down 6%, Woolies, another retailer, down 3.5%, with Boxer and ShopRite also amongst the losers. Better day for Kumba Iron Ore, they were up 5%, Sasol up 3.5%, with paper and packaging company Sappi up 2.4%. The rand also in some weakness this morning, 17 rand 71 against the US dollar, 20 rand 66 cents against the euro, and you'll need 23 rand 91 cents to get a British pound. Price of gold at $3,411 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,352. Brent crude at $67.69 a barrel. Stephen Crotus with a wrap of the week's business later this afternoon.
8:32, time for the latest in Eyewitness News. Swisa, good morning.
Thanks, Clemens. Good morning. It's been 3 weeks since learners of Alra Park Primary in Ekurhuleni stopped attending classes after their parents withdrew them from the school. The parents claim the Gauteng Education Department has not fulfilled its promise to upgrade deteriorating infrastructure, which they say has become a serious safety hazard. School officials say the department sent inspectors in 2023 who declared the buildings unsafe, and mobile classrooms were then provided to mitigate the risk. But the school now claims not enough mobile units were provided, forcing teachers and pupils to use part of the buildings that were declared unsafe. Ndlovu Youth has the story.
Academic activities at Alra Park Primary School in Nigel, Joburg's East Rand have been suspended for weeks now. Frustrated parents have cited health and safety concerns at the school, leading them to not allow their children, teachers and staff to enter the premises. The community and school officials say it's been years since they have been complaining about the aging infrastructure and unbearable conditions that their children are subjected to. The Community Crisis Committee says the department had made promises to build them a new school last year. Committee Chairman Farid Mohammed.
There was roofs falling, learners get injured, teachers, educators get injured.
Mohammed says the school will remain closed until the department recognizes their plea for a safer learning environment. Ndlovu Youth, Eyewitness News.
In KwaZulu-Natal, Police Commissioner there, Ndlovu Youth, has instructed that officers who used a police vehicle to transport a pupil to a matric dance be temporarily relieved of their duties. The pair was captured on a video that's gone viral, showing an SAPS bakkie with blue lights dropping off the learner at the event. One of the officers can be seen outside the vehicle carrying a work rifle. Police spokesperson Robert Nechunda says their conduct will be investigated.
I have instructed the District Commissioner of Utukel to ensure that the immediate commander of the officers involved must take urgent disciplinary steps against them. We cannot afford to have police officers who report for duty but use state resources for their personal gain.
He says Mkhwanazi added that the officers must account for their action.
I have further instructed our finance and supply chain management officers to determine the financial loss that the state could have suffered by that unauthorized activity. State petrol, state time and running cost of that vehicle should be claimed from those members. Communities always complain that when they call police stations, they are told that there are no vans, whilst police officers are gallivanting with state resources that are meant to serve the communities.
Peter de Villiers' lawyers say there's no plan to take any further action after the former Springboks coach was acquitted on sexual assault charges. De Villiers' Section 174 application was heard in the Vredenburg Magistrates Court 2 weeks ago, and yesterday judgment was delivered. The charges stem from a complaint filed while de Villiers was part of the Good Party caucus in Vredenburg in 2024. His lawyer, Andrick Leroux, says they will study the judgment.
We will at some stage address and study the case record and the judgment and decide what route Mr. de Villiers would take in future in regarding this case. But at this stage, there's no plans of continuing, if anything, further. But obviously his rights remain reserved in this regard.
Leroux says while de Villiers is relieved, he's a bit sad after proceedings concluded.
He lost a lot in the process because in his time he also lost two family members who were close to him, his wife and his daughter. And he was fighting his battle on his own.
And the White House has named a replacement for the director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention a day after its previous leader was forced out of the job. Jim O'Neill currently serves as the deputy to Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and will replace Suzanne Monaris after she was in the role for just a month. Lawyers representing Monaris said her sacking was illegal and alleged that she was targeted by Kennedy because she refused to rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives. The White House says the reason for her removal was that she was not aligned with their work. A fine Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 14 and 15 degrees, peaking at highs between 27 and 29.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 South. This is between the Proof Plus interchange and Rajal Avenue due to an accident between these 2 points. There's also queuing traffic along the N1 North between Bayasnodia Drive and Malibongwe Drive due to another accident seen right near Malibongwe off-ramp, causing delays.
The top story this hour. It's been 3 weeks since learners of Alra Park Primary in Ekurhuleni stopped attending classes after their parents stopped them from going to school due to safety concerns.
Naked people are great dancers. They can break it down to anything from soki to amapiano. That's because naked people get car and home insurance online in seconds, which means less time wasted on insurance admin and more time working on their whip and their nene for maximum wedding dance floor domination. Go to naked.insure now, get a quote in 90 seconds, and get naked, people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
Spar brings you super savings. Get 1 litre 6-pack Spar Long Life, full cream, low fat or fat-free milk, excluding lactose-free, for $89.99 with Spar Rewards, or 900-gram original Bacoma Wheat Bix for $49.99. Save 15 Rand with Spar Rewards. Plus, you could win your share of 6 million Rand in instant cash. Prices valid until 7 September 2025, while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
Mzansi, the Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots estimated at a total 85 million Rand are your chance at an unforgettable Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 37 million Rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 48 million Rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Payment solutions should run with your business wherever and whenever it happens. With PayFast by Network, you can accept payments online, in-store, or on the move with one simple, secure system. And when business picks up, our Easy Advance funding gives you flexibility to move even faster. Always open, for every hour, for every order, for you. Sign up today at payfast.io. PayFast has partnered with TymeBank to offer funding to your business.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Morning, Clement. Clement, I've been with my wife since 2001. I think it's 24 years now. But I've never, in even a single day, had her say, I'm sorry. She never apologized for anything. But I don't know how many times I apologized to her. So I don't understand. I don't know what is happening. But this lady, even if she can make a mistake, maybe saying I'm sorry, it's a gold from her. So I never had that. But I'm always the one saying, I'm sorry, my love. Want to ingenuity.
Yo, guys, you know this apology thing? My mother is the master of not apologizing. You know, when she loses something in the house, and then she'll just scream at everyone, scream. She forgot where she put it, and then when she finds it, she'll just keep quiet, and then we'll ask her, okay, Mama, did you find it? She'll just say, you don't even want to help me look for it. Even when she breaks something in the house, she'll actually blame someone else and say, why is it? And she was actually at fault. She doesn't apologize. Yeah, this apology thing. Yo, guys.
Morning, Clement. Unfortunately, I don't apologize anymore. I just look at you and carry on with what I'm doing.
Yeah, apologies. Guys, it's not a thing like wives don't apologize. What's happening out there? Wife is always right. It's so interesting hearing gents say that they've not heard their wives apologize. unless they've just been perfect and they've not hurt you in any way. 19 minutes before 9.
EWN Sport.
Good morning, Cindy Palita.
Good morning,
How are you
Clement.
doing?
Tell me about your story. Tell me about your story. Come on.
I was telling Cindy off air. I'm embarrassed to say this.
No.
So I was at the gym. Is it earlier this week? I think, yeah, on Monday. And this man comes to me at the gym, just hi, to greet me, right? I'm like, hello. But I dismiss him immediately because, I was in the middle of my training and I just said hi politely and I looked away. And then he also walked away. And I get to work and I was just reading the story. So normally I start with News 24 before I go to the newspapers. And I see then a picture of this chap on News 24.
Mm-hmm.
Then I am like, who is this, to Abel? Abel's like, that's Hugo Bruce. I was like, this guy said hi to me at the gym. Who is this person?
The Bafana coach. The national Bafana coach.
Now I know.
So, but okay, you can
I'll
be
go to him at the gym.
You can be forgiven.
Yeah.
Because I find that in radio, I don't necessarily know what the sports people look like. So when I worked at Supersport and I was constantly cutting highlights and packages and what people look like, I'd be like, oh, that's this person, that's this person, that's that person.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm watching sport, I'm like, who's that
Yeah.
guy?
Like
if
I
can't
know
see the number on
Bafana coach and who it is, but for some reason I didn't
but
know
also,
like the picture like that.
Because he wasn't in a setting that you would have
Yes,
expected.
he was
to
wearing
find.
shorts, like
Not on a soccer field.
not on the soccer field. But I was so embarrassed by that.
Don't be.
Next time I'm gonna go say hi.
Well, good. Well, he was in action yesterday. He named his side to play Lesotho and Nigeria in the World Cup qualifiers next week. Victory in both games book their place in the USA next year. Here's Clement's new friend, Bafana coach, Hugo Bruce.
I know there are two important games, but if I shouldn't have the confidence in them, I shouldn't never selected them. Again, if that can succeed, then I think what I said already before, the future of Bafana looks very bright. And let's hope that it succeeds in the two games we have now in next week.
At home tonight in the league, Solele host Richards Bay. Tomorrow, Sundowns at Stellenbosch, Chiefs at Arrows. Huge game in the Premier League on Sunday. Liverpool are hosting Arsenal. That's at 5:30. At the Diamond League in Zurich, Akani Simbini finished second in the 100-meter final, 0.02 seconds behind winner Chris Coleman. Bayanda Walaza, unfortunately, pulling up injured. He's a doubt for the World Champs. That's in 2 weeks' time. The Springbok women play Italy in their second group game of the Rugby World Cup. Centre Zenkla Mpupa says they're trying to build on last week's 60-point win over Brazil.
It was a great start, and I think we've put a tag in our backs right now. Sad thing about sport, just knowing that whatever we have done in the weekend does not matter this weekend, and just to remind ourselves to just start back from zero again and start all over again and just build on that.
Kickoff on Sunday is 4:30 p.m. In the Currie Cup tomorrow, the Lions are hosting the Bulls at Ellis Park at 3 o'clock. Tonight, Cheetahs taking on Griquas. US Open tennis, the men's ninth seed Kachanov is out, while Coco Gauff got a straight sets win, 7-6 and 6-2, but had to dig deep mentally after that first set. Highly emotional after the game.
I was just trying to tell myself to breathe and honestly just putting another ball on the court and just trying to remember the things that I do well. And I don't remember a lot of the end of the first set, to be honest. It's kind of amazing that I was able to get out of that one. But once I was able to reset, I went to the bathroom, splashed some water in my face, and after that, I felt a lot better out here.
In golf at the European Masters in Switzerland, play was suspended overnight due to fog. Richard Sterney's one off the pace on 4 under. He's gone only through 13 holes. Stone is on 3 under through 16. And the Formula One in Netherlands this weekend, Piastri leads the driver's standings 9 points over his teammate Norris. Sorry, I got a bit distracted because Clement's entire face lit up like Christmas.
Because I've missed Formula One.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Can I tell you? I am not a Formula One fan. I think I've told you this
You've
numerous
said that
times.
before,
I don't
yeah.
follow it. I struggle it. I think if you need a Netflix series to promote a sport, it means the sport's boring, right? I like MotoGP, but at the moment, I'm not enjoying MotoGP because Marc Marquez is winning all the time. Every race, he's 175 points ahead in the championship. It's so boring once he gets into the front, right? I'm so excited for Formula One this season. You've won me for the season, Clement.
I think I've also enjoyed it more. I get what you mean about, because there was a time when, I wasn't a big fan too much during Lewis Hamilton's winning streak, but
Right.
I was a big fan during Max. And at some point, it was like, oh my God. And again.
Yeah.
But now when you see McLaren perform the way that they are, I mean, that really excites me.
Yeah.
I love it for them.
So my husband and I were having this exact conversation because he said at some point Dorna Sports, that's who owns MotoGP, is going to have to say, guys, we can't have a guy dominating by 175 points. Nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Like nobody is
Yeah.
watching.
My friends are trying to get me to get into MotoGP.
No, you're getting in at the wrong time. I'll tell you when it's exciting again.
Okay, let me know.
It's so boring.
You know who I saw at the gym and I went to say hi? Jose, the former Pirates coach. That one I knew.
What, did you ask him what he's doing?
No, this is a while back.
Yes.
This is when he was still on. But I went and I said, hey, how are you doing? I'm a big Orlando Pirates fan. Lovely to see you. We love the team. And he was just like so kind.
Did you say who you were?
No.
Okay, so
I mean, I'm sure he doesn't know.
So like you were telling the Hugo Bruce story this
Yeah.
morning.
He's
Jose Rivera somewhere's
nah.
going, this random guy.
He went to Google.
And then I opened 702 and I saw Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
All right, Amo Ramela has the last traffic for us here on 702 Breakfast. Amo, how are the roads looking?
Well, we still have got that accident, Clement, on the N1 North in the Randburg area. It's right near Malibongwe Drive. Delays coming from Bayers-Nadia Drive while traveling along the N17 West. As we were told by our faithful listener, our eyes and ears on the road, that accident right near Osborne Road, it's still causing delays just as you come out of Rondebolt Road. So please be on the lookout there. And there's also queuing traffic along the N12 as well as the R24 West between Inville Road and the Kilulis interchange. More updates at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Think about 6 years ago when Amapiano was just a musical instrument, when streaming meant watching water flow, not videos online, and remote work was only said when your remote batteries died. So it makes you wonder, what will the next 6 years bring? Hino trucks now come standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty, covering everything from pistons to gears. So although a lot can change in 6 years, our warranty promise won't. T's and C's apply. Hino, all the way.
Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus my business assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
When your internet connection fails, does it really matter how fast it is? Business class internet is built for businesses. With remote monitoring, that means faster problem resolution and a backup LTE connection that keeps you online. Your company deserves business class internet because just reboot the router isn't a business strategy. Find reliability at vodacombusiness.co.za. Together, let's build the extraordinary further together. Vodacom Business.
For more about 702,
go to primemediaplus.com.
It's going up to 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. Khomotso Modise is here to tell us what's coming up on that show that happens between 9 and 12. Khomotso, how are you doing?
I thought you'd say hi, Clement.
Thank you for standing in yesterday. You did really well under the circumstances.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
What's happening today?
Listen, 9 to 12, we're going to be having, well, in the second hour, of course, the first hour is the open line. I'm really looking forward to hearing some gratitude from the listeners. Of course, on Fridays, you have that Gratitude Friday. So, yes, I'm looking forward to that, as well as whatever else is on the listener's mind between, well, the first hour, so 9 to 10. In the second hour, we have our Across the Desk feature. We're going to be speaking to a kennel assistant from the SPCA. I'm really interested in the work that they do, the challenges that they experience with animals that they work with. So that's in the second hour. And then in the third hour, a feature that I know you really like having because you can never stop laughing when we talk relationships. It's the relationship focus. And we're going to be speaking about breadcrumbing, love booking, breadcrumbing, love bombing, and ghosting. Modern dating.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think these are terms and phrases that are used quite loosely. But how do you know if you are being breadcrumbed? Is that the correct way? Breadcrumbed. If you're being love bombed, taken for a one. So we're going to be having that conversation in the final hour of the show.
All right, looking forward to it. That's Khomotso Modise coming up between 9 and 12.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Think about it. There must be higher love. Down in the heart or hidden sisters, but without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart and not inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere. In this whole world, the word is fair. We walk blind and try to see. Falling behind in what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love.
Those are the angelic voices of the Ndlovu Youth Choir, and we're playing you that because there's something historic happening with the choir. In fact, it's a world fest for music history. The Ndlovu Youth Choir has actually released a translated version of Queen's iconic Bohemian Rhapsody. It's sung entirely in isiZulu, and it comes with the official blessing of Queen themselves. And in the song's nearly 50-year history, this is actually the first band that has approved it, a translated recording. So we are joined now via Zoom by their artistic director, Ralph Schmidt, who will tell us more about this. Ralph, thank you so much for making time. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for having me.
And congratulations on this global first. I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody in isiZulu, officially approved by Queen. How did this collaboration come about, and what does it mean for you as the Ndlovu Youth Choir?
Yeah, well, firstly, for us, it's an incredible privilege to have got permission to translate the song. There's never been a commercial release of Bohemian Rhapsody, at least that we're aware of, and that our team is aware of. To do it in Zulu and to take the song back to the continent where Freddie Mercury was born. Of course, he was born as Farouk Bulsara in Zanzibar. And the initial idea of the song came about, what would the song have sounded like had Freddie Mercury's musical journey never left Africa? So we've infused it with Maskandi, with Mbaqanga, with Kwasa Kwasa from the Congo, and then slow roasted it in Limpopo and marinated it in isiZulu.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And of course, we'll give our listeners a taste of that before we wrap up the show. But when you look at Queen's original, I mean, it's so legendary. It's dramatic, it's emotional, vocally complex as well. What was the process for you of translating and arranging it in isiZulu without losing that essence?
It's a great question, Clement, because it was an extremely difficult task. There's some words that we did leave, so it's not 100% in isiZulu. So, for example, like Bismillah, no. I mean, how do you translate that?
Yeah.
Or there's the I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. That we've done in Istratamia style, but we've kept English lyrics. So it was really looking at how does one take the words and do the piece justice rhythmically. So, sometimes an isiZulu word would be longer or shorter, or a phrase would be longer or shorter than the English phrase. And that would mean that you'd have to adapt the rhythm of the music. And we wanted to be very faithful to the original. So in some cases, where the translation and there were too many syllables or something like that, then we would stick to the original lyrics. But it seemed serendipitous to do it in Zulu because a lot of it worked, and I think it works. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think it works beautifully.
This release ties into your heritage tour. I think this time you're focusing more on smaller towns and communities and not just the big cities. Tell us more about this tour and why was it important to do it this way this time around?
Clement, last year we were so excited because we sold out Carnegie Hall in New York City. And I thought to myself, here we're selling out Carnegie Hall in New York. We've done multiple tours across Europe and the US, but we haven't really toured our own country. And we thought of putting something together for Heritage Month where we would go to, with respect to smaller towns, and not necessarily small, but cities like Mbombela and Balcom and Kimberley and take our tour then. We also wanted to go to Soweto. So on the 17th of September, we're going to be in the Soweto Theatre. We're very excited about that. We've never performed in Soweto. And then it's all going to build up to a grand finale. Although the initial idea was to go to smaller towns and venues, we then chose the biggest one in the country to end the tour, and that's the Sunbet Arena on Heritage Day on the 24th of September. And it's just it's going to be a celebration of heritage, youth, and the power of music to bring South Africans together.
And the wonderful thing about this choir and its journey is that it's always been more than just about music. It's been about hope, about unity and opportunity. What message are you hoping that this project sends, especially during this Heritage Month?
I think a lot of people, when it's Heritage Month, they think of heritage. They think, oh yeah, no, I'm going to show off my heritage, and it's wonderful that we're all extremely proud of our heritage, and that I mean, our diversity is our greatest strength. But beyond our individual heritage, I think our shared South African heritage, where we take our individual strengths and we combine them to create this unique South African gees, or whatever you want to call it, is what we're hoping to achieve with this, by showing that our diversity is our strength, by celebrating where we come from, and also creating an opportunity for people to learn from one another, for people to we want to encourage people to come to the concerts dressed in their traditional attire and to ask questions and say, oh, you look beautiful, what's that? This is lovely, what's that? That's Paddy, this is Indian, or this is, looking at different and learning about it and finding out what the meanings are of all the things, and also celebrating that through the repertoire that we're going to be presenting at the show. Looking forward to it. Ralph Schmidt, Artistics Director for the Ndlovu Youth Choir, thank you so much for joining us. Go check out their Heritage Tour. Here's a taste of the song that they've translated, the version of Queen's iconic Bohemian Rhapsody.
When I say insurance, you say pineapple. Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Insurance.
Pineapple.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Hollywood Bet Aziz Shege. Be on the Game is back for the new soccer season. Up for grabs is a share of 4 million rand in prizes, including the Toyota Rumion, Corolla Cross, Hilux 2.4 GD6 DC, and a Starlet Cross. To qualify, bet 10 rand or more on any soccer fixture or fixtures for your chance to score big. Bet now.
T's and C's apply. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp HELP to 076 675 0710.
Spar brings you super savings. Get 2 kg Tastic long grain, parboiled, brown or soft absorbing rice assorted for $34.99. Save 10 rand with Spar Rewards, or 2-liter Spar sunflower or canola oil for $69.99 with Spar Rewards. Plus, you could win your share of 6 million rand in instant cash. Price is valid until 7 September 2025 while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
All right, thank you for listening to the Friday edition of 702 Breakfast. Our time is up. Up next is Khomotso Modise on my show. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Bye-bye.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. National Police Commissioner Fanny Masimula says Gauteng's political killings task team will be launched in the next 4 weeks. Masimula made the announcement yesterday after saying the KZN task team will resume its investigation into 121 dockets which were snatched from the units allegedly